you're rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots, and a sexy body full of tats.
My camera's a little low. It's fine. I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it in post. Actually, I literally can't deal with it in post. It's everything. It's live. We are literally doing it in live here. As though, and I was supposed to get another drop. I didn't have time for it. I was going to make another drop.
Okay.
Just for you.
Oh.
Yes.
The one I've been wanting?
No.
Oh.
I don't know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, me either.
Oh, well, we didn't get Luke. We did not get Luke.
He was here and we didn't.
We didn't. We failed hard. Well, you guys kind of rushed out at the end.
What was it? I had to get to work.
Yeah, you had to get to work. What were they doing?
Home?
Yeah. Were they in their own vehicle?
I don't know.
Did you drive them to work with you?
No.
Then they were in their own vehicle.
God, I hope. That'd be a long walk.
So yeah, we're supposed to get his son.
What's your family doing? I don't know.
We were supposed to get his son doing a.
He does. You remember the
voiceover.
Wild Thornberry cartoon?
Oh, yeah.
Remember the kid, Donnie?
No.
Yeah. My son does that perfectly.
Yeah, he does. It's nuts.
Nice.
And I want it for a drop when we get tongue-tied.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but he also does.
Whistle talking.
He does the guy from Family Guy,
Yep.
the old guy who's always trying to constantly rape Chris.
Oh.
Now he's learned to do Mark Warburton.
Patrick,
Yeah, Patrick Warburton.
Mr. the Tick.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, he nails it. It's great.
Okay, cool. I'm getting a little echo. Maybe we need to not be as loud. Normally I don't get echo. That was weird that I got echo that time. Either way, I got no setup for today. There's no intro story. There's no nothing. We're just getting right into episode 94.
And welcome to the Now You Made It Awkward podcast.
Yeah, so guys, welcome to the Now You Made It Awkward podcast, episode 94. Yeah, 94. Yeah, I had to think about that. It's weird because we're not ahead anymore, but I still can't keep track.
Nope, never can.
Fucking dumb. Either way. So, of course, I am Shoky, and you can follow me at all the Shoky-related links down below. And also, if you want to, you can follow this show at the Now You Made It Awkward Facebook. And if you do that, you could be a cool people like Shaun, where he's sending a voicemail, which we will be listening to that sometime soon. But, of course, with me, as usual, is Heffy.
Hey.
Over there. And we do have a visitor today.
What's up?
Welcome. Welcome.
An old friend of mine, technically speaking.
Yeah.
Mr. Will. No last name given.
No.
Last will and testament.
The Will.
The will.
The will. The very last. So, this is a rare opportunity, Jeff.
Yes,
We have a trivia opponent
we do.
with us here. Although technically now a new teammate of mine.
I don't know. Perpetual sixth place for no one's opponent.
You know the irony. You know the irony is that our leftover teammates who showed up late, they were sixth place for the majority of it. So I'm starting to think it's not me.
It's me.
You say that, but you joined our team and we stayed at a good second to last place for most of the game.
And none of that was due to me. You were lacking two members of your normal team as well.
We were.
So that leads me to believe that there's some of the brain power, and I wasn't contributing until near the end, and I was ignored, or we would have had first place. So let me ask you again, Will. How many engines does the B-52 have?
The answer is 8.
Yes. Not 4. To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
I hit the long one. Fuck. That's the full length. Gotta do the whole thing.
Why not?
To be fair.
Yeah. But he only loves it because it ends with Squirrely Jeff.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Squirrely Dan. Is it Squirrely Jeff now? By the way, he anyway.
Yeah, I got the costume.
To be fair,
So-
they were thinking of the show they had just watched from World War II,
Yes.
where they had a lot of 4-engine bombers. So they weren't thinking about the B-52. They were thinking of the B-17.
Yes.
Yeah. And it doesn't help that there was also a B-25 to really throw your brain off,
And that's what I was thinking.
which is also
about.
a twin engine, not 4. The 17 is 4. The 25 is 2. So that makes it even weirder.
But only one of them was the Flying Fortress.
Yeah, that's the
B-52.
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 Flying Fortress. You know, shout out to the local brewery.
Right.
Which, if I'd been wearing the hat, it would have been even a bigger embarrassment if I couldn't figure that one out. 'Cause I think my hat there. I think my B-52 hat got destroyed, so I don't think I even have one of those anymore. I just have a buttload of brewery hats.
So going back to your comment about you having the costume.
I do.
When I turned 33, my wife threw me a super soft birthday
She
party.
did.
She
Yes.
did. I had dressed like Daryl. The the pink boa Had the grabbed one of my FR jumper coveralls.
Yeah.
My boots. Everybody showed up dressed in Letterkenny. My wife was dressed as Stuart.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You went home and had sex with Sturt.
Stuart.
You should have been rolled.
Oh,
Or gay.
gay.
You should have been dressed as gay.
Oh,
Because rolled never technically.
yeah, but
He always wanted to, but he never did.
yeah. So, buddy of mine was dressed like Squirrely Dan, coverall or overalls and everything.
Well, Mrs. Hefe found the manufacturer of the big boy overalls.
Oh yeah.
That Trevor Wilson wears. And man, she said they were hard to get her hands on. She had to order directly from the manufacturer,
Really?
and they're spot on, perfect.
I just sent him.
found me the green shirt, the red and white hat. I mean, I was killing it.
I just sent him because he was asking me. He's like, where would I get overalls?" And I was like, "Tractor Supply."
We
I
ordered
mean,
them.
yeah.
Yeah, these came from Canada,
No, nice.
Proper. Damn it. I keep
and they're
hitting
super
the double wide.
heavy, super thick. So I can only wear them like 3 weeks out of the year.
So we were,
And now I've lost like 80 pounds, so they no longer fit. They swallow me.
we all stayed in costume for
Ack.
about an hour until we were all drenched in sweat.
Where was the party?
It's at my in-laws in
Okay.
the middle of August.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck that.
So,
Fuck that, man.
This party's going inside.
but
Yeah,
we
it
had.
is.
She had
All
rented.
right, air conditioning.
She had rented
Alright.
an adult bouncy house.
Nice.
We had a pinata full of miniature liquor bottles.
That sounds dangerous.
It was
Unless
because
they're
I was
plastic.
no. We made sure they were all plastic.
Okay.
Yeah, but
But still, the katana you were swinging at the pinata.
the first one, I literally decapitated its legs.
Yeah.
I was blindfolded. Heard a liquor bottle hit the side of the house,
Oh, so you batted something at the house.
and then the second one, I completely took off its body from its head.
Yeah.
It was a unicorn.
Of course. Like you do.
Of course. I mean,
A horse is a horse, of course.
you know, we really couldn't find a legit horse to turn into a unicorn.
Well, you also wouldn't want to swing a bat at it.
No.
So we have a family friend that does pony parties.
Yeah.
Super
That's a
tame
different
ponies
thing
that-
entirely.
Well, no, they little kids finger paint on the
That's
horses.
also a different thing.
But we were trying to convince her to start offering super soft birthdays.
Yeah.
But she didn't want to do it.
Nobody gets that reference.
No one does.
Outside of Letterkenny folk,
Yep.
nobody gets that reference. What is a super soft birthday party?
We even went to
For like an 8-year-old. Hell, this is awkward.
It doesn't matter if you're 8 or 38. We're just going to keep doing it.
Screw it. Kids are getting hammered.
Yeah.
We're all old enough to remember the very delicious candy cigarettes.
Yes.
We had those. Said I'd have a dart.
Nice.
Nice.
And then we got Pez, not the Pez dispenser, just the Pez's
Yeah.
for the drugs for the skids.
Nice little oxy.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah.
Man.
Choxy, whatever.
We had a very
I wish we were active friends at that point.
you know what?
That was in a weird gap where we hadn't seen each other in years.
Yeah. At this point in my life, I think every birthday party going forward is just going to be a super soft birthday party.
Yeah. Why not?
It needs to be. I'm in my 30s. To heck with it.
I mean, if only we knew a guy with a horse.
I mean,
Good luck catching them. They're not mine.
That makes it more fun.
you know what
Now,
is easy
now
to
did you have
catch?
anybody come in to fight?
No.
Aw.
No, I definitely needed somebody to come.
We need some joint
If we
boys.
had known each other.
Yeah.
By the way, question. What happened to Joint Boys crew?
Did they all become degens or?
They just
disappeared.
He rolled up with like 3 trucks worth of dudes.
Yeah.
Fought Wayne. He joined Wayne's crew. Mm-hmm. Well, at least as a side chick, or however you want to say
Joint
it.
Boy and
Tyson.
Tyson.
Came in later. Tyson was the end of the season.
Yeah, Tyson was.
He sucker punched him.
Suckered Wayne. The Wayne got right back up and knocked shit out of him.
Oh
Yeah. And then Tyson proceeded to just become enormous.
They had that great long A to Z monologue.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love those.
Yeah, that's always fun with that. We talk about Letterkenny way too often on the show.
Hey.
Shorzy season 3 sometime soon.
Not next month, but July.
Yeah,
23rd.
it's May for Canada, July for us poor folk.
Yeah.
I will be
Motherfuckers.
100% complete honest. Haven't watched the first season of Shorzy yet.
Well, you need to.
It's,
I know.
It's fucking amazing.
I'm not going to go that far, but it's damn sight better than I thought it was going to be.
And season 2 is
There's
getting
actually
better.
character development and plot development.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have actual, characters. And the cool thing is they've introduced a few of them through Letterkenny. So when they pop up again, you're like, wait a minute. You get direct references back to the Letterkenny episodes where they happened. Like when Shorzy was on the Eagles, when he was on the native team, and he chopped down Frankie JJ Frankie. Or, no, JJ
Frankie JJ.
I had his name backwards.
Frankie JJ Frankie, really?
Fucking look, there's so much of Frankie, it is what it is. But anyway, yeah, Shorzy season 2 was really good. Could have actually, if they hadn't ended, or if they had ended the season, the hockey season there, it would have been a solid ending. However, with the way they ended it, they set up for season 3, and without having to do a 2.5-year wait due to COVID and everything else.
Yeah. And
one of their stars being shot.
That Derry's ex-sweetie, Anek, she's back.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
Really?
Anek,
Yes.
Oh, so Anek is part of the hockey show. Like it's Sports Center, but for hockey up there.
Yeah.
They never cover that in Letterkenny. They talk about how she disappears for a while, and then she comes back in like season 11, like briefly, and then disappears again.
That's when
That's
the
the
bro
one
dude
that-
hottie just took her.
Yeah.
That's the one that cheated on Daryl, right?
Yes.
Yes.
She went back to her other guy.
Yeah, her sexy
Didn't
Instagram.
Didn't get married. So she didn't get married to that guy, and then she got with Dirks for like 5 minutes, and then she sided with them. Then she started living in Letterkenny again. But then for no reason whatsoever, due to the Bro Dude sponsorship and everything else like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. So because she's still a Bro Dude ambassador, that's why she's on that show. That is from Bro Dude. That's why. But not Indian Energy or Snow Dude is really, I think, is what they called it. The fusion of Bro Dude and Indian Energy, I think, was called Snow Dude.
No, something else.
Yeah, it's something like that. Because it's a weird combo of the logo, and they named it slightly different. But that's when Tanis was with the chick from Bro Dude.
Yep.
And then they both kind of fell off.
When
mean,
Wayne was driving Boney.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So, either way, I did forget to mention that you guys could write into the show at NowYouMadeItAwkwardMail at gmail.com if you have any ideas, questions, comments, or anything, blah, 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 blah. In fact, with episode 100 coming up here in a few weeks, I do need questions, like pretty simple either or questions, or would you
talked
rather
about having just a question and answer.
It's going to be a
episode.
100 answer or 100 questionnaire. So whoever's on the panel that day, because I am still trying to bully Shaun into coming down here and or bribe. We'll see what happens. He's coming up with excuses, and I'm trying to defeat them. I even said I'd pay for his fucking hotel if he came down here, if he doesn't want to crash on my couch. So Shaun's one of the original co-hosts and one of my internet friends.
Okay.
So we have not met before, and he lives in Texas. So, but he's like 6 hours away. So I was like, get your ass down here for episode 100, motherfucker. So, we're still working on the plans for all that, but it is what it is. Speaking of Shaun, let's go ahead and pop over to the Shaun cam, as it were. Actually, I'll bring it up. I gotta make sure I close that, or we're gonna get Facebook notifications. I'm gonna bring this over here so we can hear what Shaun has to ask us this week. Which, guys, if you want to be like Shaun and send us fucking messages, he doesn't have to be the only one who ever brings up topics.
For real, he is the only one that's dropping messages.
Yep, indeed.
Question for the pod. So who wins in a fight? The OG T-800 Terminator or RoboCop? Rambo or Commando? A Velociraptor or a squirrel from Florida on meth?
Okay, so basically we need questions kind of like that.
What a
for episode
wonderful
100.
string of nonsense that was. Thank you, Shaun.
Yeah. Okay, so that was let's go one at a time. RoboCop versus Terminator, excluding the video game and or comics. Who do you think?
Completely ambivalent.
No, you have to fucking answer.
100% Terminator.
The T-800,
The
the original
T-800.
T-800.
The original.
Actually, the original one was not a T-800, but they keep retconning that. The second one was a T-800. The one in Terminator 2 was a T-800, not the first one. But
I'm going to go RoboCop.
I'm going to go RoboCop as well, because if you well, hold on, we got to set a stage for this.
Might makes right, and he has the firepower.
He does have the firepower, but here's the thing: if the Terminator we have to assume that the Terminator is coming back in time, because otherwise RoboCop has to live to Terminator times. which plausible. You know, if there's nothing that kills RoboCop, he stays alive, right? He just has to wake up in the future and fight a
Eat his
Terminator.
baby food.
If he's in the future against the Terminator's weapons, the energy weapons they have, he's dead. Now, if he's back in the past,
RoboCop can't time travel, so
he can wait
he can wait.
But there
in
again,
stasis.
if I'm remembering correctly, he still has a human brain.
He does, and heart.
So therefore, those will give out before.
But if he's in stasis, which we know that they can just kind of basically hook him up to a machine and leave him on stasis for a while. So you're right. In theory, he could die, but realistically, by that point, it's only like 70 years.
Also, to run with your comment, he does have a human brain.
Yeah.
So he does have an ability to think his way out of problems and the ingenuity to work around anything that gets in front of him.
Yes.
Yes.
He's not a program, a linear or quantum computer, however the T800 was running.
Yeah.
But he,
Cyberdyne
humans can think
systems.
outside the box and work around a problem.
That is
Well,
true.
well, the Terminators can too. They're just slightly slower at it in that case.
They should be a bit more linear in their thinking.
They are, but they go from one thing to the next, but they do problem solve fairly quickly. They can even get to the point of lying if they have to, because they have to be able to blend in.
Yeah.
So I would think that it's a Terminator. If it's just straight up Terminator, no body shell, no hiding, with 80s/90s weaponry, he's not going to beat RoboCop. But the Terminator's probably going to move quicker than RoboCop because he is a slow-moving bastard.
He is.
And
He could always jack a SUX 2000 and
yeah. So here's the other
move
thing.
a little quicker.
If RoboCop gets his hands on the Terminator, do you think he'd be able to hack it? Because he can't hack things.
Ooh. If there was an entry data port,
Spike it into the fucking brain.
well, depends on how long you wait. Does RoboCop now have Wi-Fi access?
I don't think he needs Wi-Fi. He's very analog. He's so analog. He has a probe,
Right.
this big old rod he sticks into things to access it.
Oh no. Goes to stick it in. Type C's using micro USB ports.
Yeah, I don't even think a Terminator ever got to micro USB or USB-C. They blew up the world before that happened.
They're not
Actually.
compatible.
Yeah, they blew up the world before we even got to USB.
Right.
That's crazy. Think about that shit. I'm going RoboCop under base everything versus a base Terminator with the same level of weaponry. I think he wins.
Okay.
But he also is basically non-mobile artillery half the time. He stands there and shoots.
Yes.
Terminator will be a bit more mobile, in my opinion.
For sure.
Yeah, but I think it depends on, like I said, if it's the same weaponry, we've seen that RoboCop is mostly bulletproof against anything that's not like a 50 cal.
That is true, but he only uses the weapons that are in his legs.
Generally speaking. But we don't have a loadout situation. We assume that
He could always grab what's called a weapon of opportunity.
Yes.
Anything handy.
So if we assume they just come together in a street fight where there's like a shootout between Terminator and regular cops and RoboCop's on scene, and he's got basically cop weaponry, shotguns, which we know Terminator does love a shotgun as well. I don't think a shotgun without slugs isn't going to hurt RoboCop much.
No.
Yeah, but rifled slugs, those will do it.
Oh, yeah, that'll do some damage
they'll do
to
a number.
either. That'll do damage to both. But I think that the only chance that Terminator has is if he sneaks in disguise and tries to fuck up RoboCop.
What, just ambush him?
Like ambush him and try to fuck him up that way.
Well, still, that doesn't work. It's RoboCop. Doctrine tells us we attack into an ambush, and you ambush RoboCop, he's just going to come right back at you and unload.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a pretty even battle, but I go RoboCop. Any differences?
Nope.
Anybody got a different argument?
I mean, no, we've pretty much put everything on the table.
Yeah.
I will put my money on Terminator.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're saying Terminator, I'm saying RoboCop.
I don't care, RoboCop.
Okay. You have to care in this in the
Damn it.
argument. This is the problem. You have to be able to make the argument. Okay, what was the other thing he said?
Something about a kangaroo and a koala.
No, he did not say that. You said that in your own head.
The one thing my brain locked in was the Velociraptor.
Velociraptor versus meth squirrel.
Meth Florida squirrel.
Florida meth squirrel, huh?
100%.
It's a velociraptor.
Depends.
Florida meth squirrel.
Does the
man.
meth squirrel call meth squirrel buddies?
No, it's just a squirrel.
Just A.
Yeah.
And squirrel.
And squirrel. Singular. Yeah, no, the squirrel's not going to kill the velociraptor. It's never going to be able to do enough damage.
No, it's going to go pokey toe and chompy chomp and.
Yeah, it'll nibble at the velociraptor. Now, if we're talking real velociraptor size, like the one that's like a house cat,
Like a turkey.
yeah, it's like basically a
Yeah.
deadly turkey. I mean, speed-wise, the squirrel's got speed on him, but if we're talking about engagement, yeah, the velociraptor's going to kill that fucking thing.
Yeah.
Squirrel can nip at him, but he's not going to fucking...
But there again,
I don't know.
nest
Does the,
squirrel, climbing trees, jumping trees, running.
Velociraptors can run, and they can
True.
run like 40 miles an hour.
But what comes into question is stamina.
yeah,
Who's gonna?
that squirrel's heart is going to explode. The velociraptor can stand there, close its eyes, and hope for the best, and the squirrel's going to just explode eventually.
raptor could sit down there and go moo or whatever they say and
Moo. Yes, that's what it is.
I don't.
Moo?
I don't think that was on my little animal wheel growing up.
How do you know?
Velociraptor goes.
How do any of us
moo.
know what noises they make? They could moo.
Terrifying quacks, apparently.
That's a T-Rex.
Yeah, T-Rex. Have you heard the idea, like the sound they really do think that the T-Rex says? Says. Squirrels don't make any noise. It would just be a chittering event. Like it'll probably look at it and go, "What?" Okay, hold on. I gotta remember what the other question was.
Question for the pod. So who wins in a fight? The OG T-800 Terminator or RoboCop?
We got that one.
Rambo
Rambo.
or
That's right.
Commando?
Or Commando.
Wait, Commando. That's Arnold Schwarzenegger, right?
That's no underwear.
That's true. But wait. So wait. Commando. Who played Commando?
I don't know either. I barely know anything about Rambo.
Use your magic answer box. Because I can't currently. Because my screen's way over there.
Y'all talk while I do things.
Sure. Hi,
Hey,
Will.
what's
so,
up, bud?
So while he looks up that answer, first of all, I think I'm going to say Rambo, just because
Yeah.
I default to Rambo.
Default to Rambo all the time.
And we're also which Rambo too? Because First Blood Rambo or later.
This was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's what I thought.
That's what I thought too.
Okay, so I remember. So they both do very similar raids on a compound and explode some shit.
Yeah, this was going to save his daughter.
Yeah,
Commando.
yeah. Which wasn't that the plot of like the last Rambo movie when he's like old as shit?
Is that the one where he goes, "You got to get out here, get to
No.
the chopper"?
No, Get to the Chopper was Predator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, obviously Arnold is way bigger than Stallone at that time, like physically. But I think they probably have equal skill levels. But Rambo's more insane. That was part of it.
Rambo
nuts.
was crazier. Arnold was more entertaining to watch.
Okay, but we're talking about in a battle.
Oh.
Yeah, but I think what it comes down to
Well,
is
having not seen Commando,
That's a fair point.
Commando's more G.I. Joe, straightforward, where Rambo is more MacGyver.
It's like guerrilla warfare.
I'm thinking more Rambo's more tier 1 operator, solo operator.
I think he is that too. In
I mean, who else is going to put an explosive tip on an arrow and shoot it? I mean,
I think it's a pretty equal fight, but I think
I think sheer
Rambo's
tenacity,
insanity.
Rambo should take that one out due to sheer tenacity.
And insanity. I think the insanity is going to help.
Yeah.
Like being crazy.
anybody that made,
He-
it through Vietnam.
It seems like he's one of those that'll take himself out just to take the other guy too.
Now the real question would be Commando or Dutch. That's both Arnold Schwarzenegger in an army movie. He's a special forces guy in one. Might be is like basically the same character.
Why do you look like me?
Yes.
Stop touching my belly button.
And it turns out it's just a Terminator. There you go. It's a Terminator versus Commando versus Dutch. Oh gosh. It's just like which version of Arnie wins. Well, have you seen it? Have you seen it in the latest comics? They had a Predator versus Wolverine comic.
Yes.
Yeah, it's brutal. Like, because the Predator basically sees Wolverine as like his ultimate prize because he can't kill him. Like, and so he keeps coming back to Earth like however many years, and Wolverine keeps tracking him down. But it was in between memory wipes of Wolverine. He's like, what is this? What am I feeling?
Reminds me of the only graphic novel I've ever read. It was Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
And it was a good one.
Yeah. Did you see Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe again?
No.
Yeah, he did it again. It's like he actually went through. He killed the whole universe again.
Actually, I
I
traded
think Wolverine
that.
did too.
I traded that to Lorne for a case of
Michaels?
No, the
Oh.
guy that used to work at Southern Star.
Oh.
Dreads.
Oh.
Anyway, half case of underfills, or for a full case of underfills.
Oh.
Like, ooh,
Underfills.
beer.
That's what you do in your pants, you underfill.
No, I overfill those.
Yeah.
Only on Fridays.
Okay, so we don't have a good answer for that one because they're basically both ridiculous.
same
army
character?
dudes. Yeah, they're kind of
Yeah.
the same character. I still wouldn't say a squirrel could
One
be a
needs
velociraptor.
meds, the other doesn't.
Yeah. But here's the fun part. With the velociraptor versus meth squirrel, eventually the velociraptor will eat the meth squirrel. Mm-hmm. Now you've got methoraptor.
Ooh, you
The
got a
real
hyper
question is
gotta-
meth raptor versus cocaine bear?
meth raptor.
Ooh, no. I think Cocaine Bear, because Cocaine
Oh,
Bear
no.
got shot quite a lot and kept going.
But meth raptor's faster, more agile, and could
It
outlast
was a
him.
black bear too, though. I mean, it could. She was worth a damn.
I haven't seen that one yet. I guess
You've not
that's-
seen Cocaine
I
Bear?
guess that's
Oh,
tonight.
you got to watch Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, I'm out of homework.
It's so bad.
I am so out of homework.
It is so bad, but so much fun, and really gruesome.
Good.
It was a
Very
gruesome ass movie. Speaking of gruesome things, you finally finished Shogun.
I did.
Okay, so we got to do Heffy's homework corner right quick.
I enjoy Heffy's homework on something I recommended. Yeah.
Yeah, he recommended a show. I finished it, and he wasn't done with it yet. Okay, so
It ended about like I thought it would.
okay,
I mean, it was.
is that where you thought this season would end?
Yeah.
Is that where the book?
That's where the
ends?
book ends. The book ends right
Okay,
there.
So that's where the first novel.
Yes. The
ends.
second novel.
Have you seen Shogun
No.
on Hulu?
The second novel
It's Game of
is
Thrones Japanese edition.
Toranaga's
Oh, really?
continuation of launching Crimson Sky,
Yeah.
building up his ships and getting ready to become, take the shogunate.
Okay, so that's where we'll go hopefully next season.
Yeah, it's another thick book.
Yeah. So
Which they did a good job of compressing, which on an audiobook was 54 hours of listening
damn.
into, what, 9 episodes, 10 episodes?
I think it was.
They left
11.
out a lot of the descriptive stuff that explaining, everything you could see visually, they didn't have to tell you in the show.
Yeah.
But they were pretty true to the novel. They really were.
A novel.
But novel. But it was good. I was happy.
Good.
But I guess I blanked on the ending of the book. I didn't. That finale with Medico, I did not expect that to happen.
Yeah.
I grabbed the book yesterday.
Yeah.
Double checked, and yeah, it did.
Well, it makes sense. It seems. Wrong button. It seemed like they were following the book pretty closely.
They did. They did a good job.
But I mean, you know what I kind of want to do? I want to see the English adaptation to see if Blackthorn's voice acting is just as bad.
See, I didn't think it was as bad as you did.
It's bad.
No, it wasn't.
It's bad.
Your expectations are just far too high.
No, the dude just fucking sucks at voiceover. Like, it's so fun because, like, for the most part, so they slightly represent. Obviously, they're speaking English to a degree, but it is taking place in Japan.
Yeah.
All the Japanese characters speak Japanese, but some of them speak English because they were taught English, except it's not English. What we hear as English in universe is actually Portuguese.
Yeah, because the
So-
only non-Japanese on Japan are the Portuguese.
Yeah, so the
Okay.
Portuguese missionaries showed up to basically colonize Japan and China and those kind of
Convert
areas.
and take over.
They're doing political work, but they call it religious work. So they've been there for quite a while,
Quite a while.
20 years or something like that. So they've converted a lot of people to Catholicism.
I mean, like people on the Council of Regents, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
really?
like like there's 5 heads of family that are running Japan
and
at this
2 of
time
them-
because the head guy died.
And 2 of them were converted already.
Yeah, 2 of them have already converted straight up to Catholicism. The other ones are not, and some of them are like in betweens. They kind of believe both.
Hell, 2
Like,
of them are.
So it's like the Shinto religion and Catholicism sort of together at the same time. So but the funny part is, like I said, we hear English, but technically they're speaking Portuguese. So, but our main character is an English dude, but he speaks Portuguese. So we hear him only ever speak English until he speaks Japanese. But at some point, he is speaking English to proper English people, but they don't understand it. So he continues to speak English, and then they understand because he switches to Portuguese.
See,
But they don't
You're
represent
all up in
that.
your head about that. I give a damn. It's a show. I was entertaining, and you're making noise. Stop it.
I don't know what the hell that notification was.
I'm sorry.
You made him mad, Jeff. So either way, no, it's just the only reason I got picky on it is because the voice acting for that one character is
But
bad.
visually,
Visually,
fantastic.
Yeah, except for that weird thing they do with the camera in the background for no reason. Mm-hmm. When they focus on someone's face, the whole background just goes circular. It's a visual choice, but I don't know why they do it. It starts standing out after a while. You're like, because you can tell they use the volume quite a lot in there. You know, if you're familiar with any of the Star Wars shows, you know, Mandalorian, stuff like that, where they use the volume on like fucking everything, which is, the technology is fantastic. But it's starting to stand out versus the regular sets where they're actually in like a real house they built. And then the next thing they go to outside and you're like, that looks slightly faker than it did a minute ago.
Right.
So, and you can tell when they do pickup shots here and there. It's still a fantastic show. Like I said, it is Game of Thrones Japanese edition.
Oh, I'm looking forward to
No
the
dragons, unfortunately.
I haven't been able to find whether it's been picked up for a second season.
Second, yes,
Second,
correct,
but
yeah.
I hope it is.
It should, by all means. Speaking of that, House of the Dragon season 2 is coming this summer. Cannot fucking wait.
Well, I guess I need to catch up on the
Is it-
first one.
is
There's
it
my next
decent?
homework.
Yeah.
Okay, because I fell off of Game of Thrones because the last season just went straight to crap.
That was
It,
trash.
it did. It did.
It was
Because you only recently finished it.
I did,
Yeah.
like earlier this year.
like, I started reading the books because I was like, oh, this is really good.
Mistake.
I'm gonna start reading the books, and then I was like, this is utter crap.
This is nowhere near like the books.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't even watch the last few episodes of Game of Thrones in the final season.
Yeah.
It's a hard one because they did make so many changes, but you got to think after season 5 they were off book entirely, so it didn't matter. They were just making it up as they went.
What bothered me is so many people sacrifice so much for nothing in Game of Thrones.
Yes.
All these
Welcome
sacrifices.
to the Game of Thrones.
Just to have the cripple kid be nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't good at anything he did.
He's king.
Yeah. Yeah, he's probably not good at that either.
Who has a better story than Bran the Broken?
He did nothing. He sat around. It was luggage.
Everyone.
Everyone
he
has
was
a better
luggage.
story.
The one thing he did good was watch the siblings screw and then fall off a castle.
That wasn't that good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, actually, that was what set him in motion. So yeah, I guess that's what basically made the story happen. Without that moment, nothing else happens.
Nope.
Nothing else happens if he doesn't fall off that fucking tower. So, I mean, you can say what you will, but it is what it is. Now, the thing at the end, yes, I agree that they just basically did as many ass pulls as they could, and then they fucked it all up so bad they decided to do a Jon Snow sequel series somehow, somewhen. But House of the Dragons, other than having
I wouldn't
really
mind
strange...
seeing Jon Snow after he leaves the wall.
That's what we're getting.
I'd love to see that.
Because the prequel would make no sense. We already got that with... Okay, so House of the Dragon is good. It has weird pacing things because it has to plow through like 20 years of history in like 4 episodes.
I heard it's pretty rough with the graphics and the violence and all that.
Oh, you mean the violent
Yeah.
stuff? No, that's pretty violent.
I heard, like I said, I heard it's pretty rough.
But in a good way?
In a way that Game of Thrones is.
Yeah, it's still Game of Thrones. Now, there is some gruesome factor to it because the king has leprosy. And you watch him deteriorate over the decades.
Oh, they don't hide him like they did in Shogun.
They hide it at near the end, but you do see the final look of him. And apparently that's actually toned down a little bit from the book. So a lot of people think that House of the Dragon is not from a book. It's like, no, he wrote this. It's like he just stopped writing the regular fucking story to write the House of the Dragon stuff, which is basically based on a lot of the Targaryen rebellions and stuff like that. There's stuff, but the fact that they managed to cram in, I think it was 5 or 6 dragons in season 1, was awesome. The story makes sense. Matt Smith does really good as an anti-hero. Mm-hmm. Like, he's kind of a shitbag, like at the beginning, and then it takes a while to stop seeing him as the Doctor. And then once you start seeing him, I can't remember the character's name right now. Once you start seeing
Phil.
him as the character,
Phil.
then it helps. It's just like, okay, now he's this guy. Now, it does still do all the Game of Thronesy stuff. There is sex, there is violence, there's betrayal, there's all this other nonsense. And because it is all based around the Targaryen rule, like leading up to actual Game of Thrones. You know,
What,
where,
the Mad King and all that?
yeah, we don't get that far, but eventually, someday, they're still a couple generations away from that.
I'd love to see Jaime Lannister killing the Mad King at the conclusion of the series.
That won't happen
I mean,
because that happens later. That happens. The Mad King and all that with Aerys the Third, I believe it is something like 50 or 60 years after the conclusion of this story. Because if I recall correctly, like that dude won't even be born in this series because he's like another generation past.
Oh, it shows their primary rise to power at their peak.
They've been in power for like 1,000 years. Like they've been in power forever.
Or is it the opposite, showing their decline?
This is the decline. This is where This is where the Targaryen family has gotten so big that they started fucking each other over,
Fracturing and
now,
fighting.
This might have gotten away from the Blackfire Rebellion, or it's part of it, because this covers the Dance of the Dragons, which is where they were fighting all back and forth and stuff like that. And the thing is, actually, I think season 1 or season 2 of Game of Thrones spoiled the ending of this show. But most people just didn't even pay attention. That's how like in depth it was for George R.R. Martin. So I think it'll be good. And the good news is they started filming close enough that even though they have young actors playing young people, they still managed to keep some of them. Although there were some babies involved that they're clearly going to have to swap out because they'd be like 3 years old now. Now, there's a scene coming up. Now, they moved some stuff around. If you watch some of the spoiler channels, you know, they're basing it off the books versus what happened in the show. Some things didn't happen just yet, but are definitely coming that are horrific. And it's probably going to be episode 1. One of the more horrific things happens. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
If episode 1 is called Blood and Cheese, it'll be interesting. And, there is another Game of Thrones spinoff coming.
Oh, is there?
It's the Duncan Egg story, which is also kind of in that era, the later Targaryen era, leading up to Qua.
I gotta call my dad right quick.
Okay.
Y'all carry on.
Okay. We've known each other for a really long fucking time.
Somewhere over 20 years.
At least, probably, because I met you when you started at church when you were, what, 13? Give or take?
Freshman in high school. So
Freshman would be
15, 16?
Yeah, before you were driving, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting burpy. Also, I just
No.
realized the cameras are reversed in this normal situation, but it is what it is. So it's okay. So for the patrons, guys, you know, it is what it is. And we've reconnected here and there over time because you live and work in the same area I do. So in the course of me doing my job, I've run into you repeatedly at different jobs of yours.
Yes.
So, and then like, Jeff, why'd you knock your light down? Jeff, you
Like a bull in a china shop, man.
Yeah.
Jeff Smash.
Like a china in a bull shop over here. Yeah, watch your ass when you walk back through and make sure nothing knocks over. Because I do it all the time. I have to be careful walking through.
There's a problem. You have one. I don't.
What? Yeah, but you have the belly. So now I have to go back the other way. So Jeff has returned to knocking everything over. Either way, so I forget how we ran. Other than trivia, we ran into each other at HEB one night.
Yeah.
And you were with your wife, I was with my wife, and it was the first time we'd seen each other in like 2 years or something, pre-COVID.
Yes, most definitely pre-COVID.
Yeah, so, but we were just talking about our history. I've known him since he was basically 15.
Wow, okay.
Because I used to pick him up every now and then for church.
Right.
And then, did we go down to the Flying Saucer one time? I can't remember. I feel like I picked you up to go drinking one time. After you were old enough.
You picked me up. We went to a friend of ours, and we went
I know we went to
drinking
Trey's.
Trey's.
I could have sworn we went somewhere else either way.
No, we went to Trey's, picked up some beer, and went and played Catan.
Yeah.
Where y'all thoroughly screwed me
First of
over.
First of all, hold on. Have you ever played Settlers of Catan?
I don't do board games.
Okay, so he doesn't board game.
I don't card game. I don't board game.
He's a loser like that.
I do shop stuff.
So do we.
No,
but
you don't. You don't have a shop.
I used to. But either way, so it's a land grab type thing, resource-based game. build out shit, win with the most resources at the end, right? And our old friend Trey, who I've known for the same amount of time, actually slightly longer because you came in later, because we all went to church, the same church, young, and which I want to bring that up as we go. So Trey was really good at Catan, like knew all the strategies, no matter where he got stuck at the beginning, because it's random where you start. So he knew all the strategies. So eventually it devolved into everyone else teaming up to try to screw Trey over as much as possible. The unfortunate problem was when we were playing with Will, he was caught in the middle. And so he got, well, you also, I think, if I recall, you were in like a really poor position. You had like stone and like
He had to
brick.
become a speed bump.
Yeah, he was just a speed bump. I mean, like, I'm going for, like, longest road. Trey's going for, like, biggest army or whatever. And it's just fucking stupid. And then I'm sure Christian was just sitting there like, oh, my God. You know, at some point.
Yeah.
I forget, was that when his sister lived with him when they were in Tomball? It had to have been.
Yes, but she wasn't.
She wasn't home.
She wasn't home.
Yeah. So, but she was there. She probably at work or whatever. So, and we haven't seen them in forever, realistically. Either not since his dad's funeral a few years ago. I think he died of COVID or right before.
No.
No, it was a heart attack or something.
Not to bring the buzz down, but speaking of funerals coming up,
I was gonna say your dad just called. I was like, what the fuck?
Shit.
Ryan Allworth, the proprietor of the Hoppy Kitchen, he passed away yesterday.
Really?
Really?
I got that phone call from Mrs. Hefe.
Wait. Which one is he?
Tall guy, beard.
Tall guy with the beard.
Big dude, beard.
So he's not Flash.
No, Ryan Allworth, the fellow who ran the Hoppy Kitchen, owner and proprietor.
I only know the old dude and the guy with the beard and tattoos.
How about the older dude with the beard, long bushy beard?
Oh,
Ryan.
I never knew his name.
Yeah.
Fuck,
he's the
really?
owner. Yeah, he passed away yesterday. Really? He had no wife, no kids.
You've probably seen him around Copperhead. He looked like Santa Claus.
But long story short, my wife and her brothers grew up with Ryan.
Yeah.
And they all lived in the same neighborhood. They're in town. And
Yeah.
They grew up, were great friends.
I realized I haven't seen him in a few weeks.
Yeah, he hadn't been well, but
Shit.
I don't know the details.
When'd you hear that?
Last night, about 10 o'clock.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm surprised Copperhead didn't post about it.
We'll see what happens Thursday. I was contemplating bringing like a big pot of beans or something in a bowl for everybody to enjoy since there's going to be no food.
There'll be food. The kitchen will be open.
Maybe?
Dude, the kitchen has been running without him for God knows how long.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, I hope so.
I mean, legit. I haven't seen him in weeks for trivia. Like, probably a couple months I haven't seen him. And the kitchen still runs.
Okay.
I mean, it sucks that he's not there, but, I mean, if he was the owner proprietor...
But hell, they were his recipes and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't
Fat boy
assume it would just disappear.
Oh, fat boy, good cook.
Yeah. I literally never knew his name.
He's a nice guy.
I hung
Solid
out-
dude.
No, I mean, I knew him, but I didn't know his name. I know he's one of the mini Copperhead people.
Yes.
Like, I know a lot of
was
people
not mini.
just from Copperhead. Yeah. Well, you know how long it took me to learn Big John's name? Like, Big Fat John.
Big fat John.
He always brings his wooden mug.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it took me a very long time to learn his name.
I'm bad with names.
Yeah, you are.
Listen, our team and
Yeah.
a few people that.
Well, you
know-
didn't go there before trivia,
No.
right? Yeah.
Hell, I've been calling my brother's girlfriend the wrong name since Thanksgiving. Yeah, I'm bad with names.
Well, that is just...
I know, huh?
Wow, Jeff. Wow.
I finally got it right.
Well, that's okay. James has almost never called Jessica the right name.
Really?
He keeps calling her Jennifer.
Nice.
Because there's already
She
a
needs to
Jennifer.
call him Jim.
Yeah. Well, there is a Jim. That's what's fucked up. Is like, at least Jennifer is not her name. Jim is at least a spinoff of James.
Yeah.
Yeah. But speaking of which, I'm going to try to get him on sometime soon. We'll see.
Who, D. France?
No, Pastor James.
Oh, okay.
Either way. So that's
I'm thinking of the state trooper, James.
he might be interesting, but I don't know if we get along that well.
He's.
You know James.
I like him a lot.
Trivia. He's on what's their team name?
He's a solid
Kids,
dude.
I think
but
they're on Kids Who Can't Read Good.
Kids who can't read.
he
good.
collects
yeah.
junk and sells it. He doesn't collect.
Yeah. He's got the James the Junker or Jimmy the Junker
He's
page.
good at it. He gets some good stuff.
Yeah, he goes to the garage. I saw them at a garage sale
Yeah.
on Saturday. I was like, hey, I didn't have time to say hi or anything. I was at work, but I saw him. I was like, oh, hey. So I did want to ask you. So I've gotten back into church in the last few months.
Yes.
And we've briefly talked, and you've basically been away from church, for lack of a better term.
Since right before, I'd say 2018.
Okay, so it's been a minute.
Yeah.
All right. So do you mind sharing a story on how that happened? Because, I mean...
Yeah, so...
Because I know how I feel about the way things were going at that particular church. Well, not going to name it, obvious reasons, but...
Right.
But, like, my life got so busy that I couldn't be a part of a lot going on. And, you know, I was super involved with children's church
Yes.
and youth group. And then by the time I got any time to come back, everything had moved on without me. And, like, all the kids were aged out that I basically knew. Other Will,
Yes.
was still helping out the best he could. I didn't even have any clue who the fucking new youth pastor was or anything else like that. And everybody else going on, I was just like, I had no connection really to anybody anymore. So I just said, I'm done with church as an organization.
So there's multiple reasons that both me and my wife had decided to leave that church.
So I don't know this. How long have y'all been together?
10 years.
Wow. All right.
Y'all got together young and stayed that way.
10 years.
Congrats.
Married 6. So, funny story, she was my ex's best friend that we had lost contact when I had broken up with her. 10 years later, some friends from our cook-off team was like, you need to not be single anymore.
Just arbitrarily, hey, you, get laid now.
Exactly. And I was like,
You've been single too long, boy.
I'm trying. Here's my
Your right arm is huge.
Here's my Plenty of Fish app.
That's his meat pull. That's his meat pulling arm.
Listen.
Oh wait, y'all met him at Plenty of Fish?
Yes.
Oh, so did we.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, how about this? And I was like, oh, hey, I actually know her.
Yeah.
You know, she's my ex's best friend. So the rest of the night, they took my phone.
Do I know your ex? Did I meet your ex?
Amber.
So I should know, but
Yeah.
I really don't remember.
Yeah, I brought her around. She was around for a lot of vacation Bible school and...
I probably have probably would remember her face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got any nudes?
Not cool, dude.
Look, it's
Not
an ex.
cool.
It's an ex. Who cares?
Still, even for this guy, not cool.
No.
Dirty bastard.
I was joking. Nobody needs to see ex nudes.
Right. I'll show you later.
Okay.
No. But,
Just like... I made sure I changed camera to catch that. I almost didn't. Either way, so...
but, yeah, we've been together 10 years, married 6. But I had...
So basically since 2018.
Yeah.
It's saying 6 years.
Yeah, so we got married in 2018.
Okay. Before or after you left the church?
After.
Okay.
Well...
During.
Kind of during the process of leaving the church, because I had quit / got fired from a job.
Okay.
One that we had, you had come.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And so my brother at the time was like, hey, I get it. We're in the middle of like planning our wedding. We got married in November.
Okay.
This is like 3 months prior to November. And he's like, listen, I know you're stressed out right now. I've got a position as an operator to go to the pipeline. He's like, we're working here in Texas. I was like, all right, let's do it. So I went to the pipeline. Some things that had kind of happened at the church prior to me leaving had kind of left a bad taste in my mouth.
Do you mind sharing?
So just
because there's things that I heard through the pipeline, as it were.
Yeah.
But I wasn't there, got no way to confirm or talk to anybody.
So I had confided some stuff into to some people.
Okay.
And within a week, they had made their rounds around the church.
Okay. Like vital, like things you
Yeah, very personal things.
Okay.
Very personal things that I really didn't want shared.
Okay.
but they had made their rounds around the church. Some physical altercations had happened.
Really?
Yeah, so the church had kind of put a kind of like a checkpoint, going towards the children's side of the church where the nursery and stuff is.
Okay.
My wife, who worked in the nursery ministry, she went back towards the kitchen to find someone.
Gotcha.
And the youth pastor and deacon at the time, as she goes to walk by, which the checkpoint had then been shut down, like all the kids had been given to parents. As she walked by to go get them for another deacon, he had reached up and snatched her hoodie hood and like pulled her back, like ripped her back. I got in his face. It was close to being a full-on physical altercation in church. Like, it was about to be a full-on brawl.
I assume this is nobody I would have known by this point. I'd probably not, because
Probably not.
Because the last youth pastor I recall was Josh, and he didn't last that long.
No, so after Josh was... Do you remember Ryan?
Pastor Ryan?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so it was Ryan, Josh, then we went through a few.
Yeah, I figured because Trey was doing children's church at that point.
Yes.
I know, because I know what happened to him. Mm-hmm. He told me how he ended up not being at the church anymore. The church he grew up in.
Yes.
And I know the politics behind the scenes on that. Mm-hmm. But I had no idea who was the other pastors. Obviously, the head pastor stayed the same.
Yes.
From what I think even now.
He still is.
Yeah. Which is kind of also almost unheard of a little bit. I mean, like, I guess in that, because in that denomination, it seems like there is turnover. Like, get maybe about 10 years, and then some new guy will usually take over. Something like that. But he's been the head pastor of that church since, like, 2000.
Yeah, it's... Because he was the pastor...
He was the youth pastor when I got there.
Yeah.
Or, well, he wasn't... who was the original youth pastor? Shit. I don't recall.
Yeah.
Like, when I started there, he came in later, moved up, and then Ryan started there. Obviously was there for longer than normal youth pastors, which was good for everybody. As soon as he left, it was just tumultuous.
Yeah, after Ryan left, it definitely went downhill fast. But because if I'm not mistaken, he was the youth pastor and had just moved to pastor right before they had switched locations.
You're talking about
the church.
So when we moved from the original church to the new one,
to the current location,
Ryan was already the youth pastor, and the other pastor was...
Yes.
I'm not using his name, but
yeah,
he was already pastor, because the original pastor had retired long before that.
Right.
Like 3 years.
And they had just moved. I think that church had only been in that location for a year or two when I started coming.
Okay, so you never went to the original one.
No, I never went to the original.
Okay, so that changes it up. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So, but, so after Ryan, Josh, there was a few, like, fillers in between there.
And I think at one point they wanted Trey to do it for a little bit, but he wasn't going to do both.
Yeah.
He wasn't getting paid to do one. He sure as hell wasn't going to do both.
The guy that married me and my wife, he had come down from New Jersey. He was a pastor for a while, and then more politics happened. He left.
Go figure. More
went
politics.
down to another church in kind of southwest Texas.
Okay.
Out towards San Antonio.
Yeah.
So
that's where Ryan went.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he ended up in Universal City.
Oh, that's right.
Because we hooked up with him. So I went to a herpetology convention with my friends, and it was in Universal City. And I contacted Ryan because I knew they lived there. I just didn't know where.
Yeah.
And he was legitimately like 5 minutes from where we were staying. So
really?
that was the last time I saw him. Well, no, I take that back because they came down to visit one time after the fact. Because that's when he went super gray. Did you ever see him once he went gray?
I saw him, the last time I saw him was at a youth convention.
Okay, that makes sense.
I think it was a youth convention in Dallas.
Makes sense, yeah.
And that was the last. We just kind of saw each other in passing, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Hey, what's up? I gotta go." And I was like, "Yeah, I gotta go too."
So it is interesting that even well after I left, and then even at this point where Trey was either gone or about to leave, the same kind of politics and bullshit was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And this is, you and I may have talked about this. I know I talked about it with James, who's my new pastor.
Yeah,
The politics of church is generally where people get lost, not in God. Like they don't lose their belief in God, they lose their faith in the church.
Yeah.
And everything around that. And that's where I became pretty disillusioned by the bullshit that was already going on, and the fact that when I was no longer useful to them, I really didn't matter.
yeah. Because like you, when I left to go be on the oil field, at the time I was part of the worship team. I was playing the bass guitar. Excuse me. I was teaching Sunday school.
Really?
I was a youth leader. I was helping preach on Wednesday nights for the youth and stuff.
Because at that point, you're what? 20 something?
20.
Because this was 2018-ish.
Yeah, so 2018, I would have been 28 years old. So I would say, 25 to 28-year-old
Okay.
range.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I was teaching, because that church doesn't have a young adults program.
We did, and then the problem was it was such a big gap.
Yeah.
That nobody was there to take over.
So, a lot of those that had graduated out of youth but weren't really fully ready to go into main sanctuary on Wednesday nights, they were helping with youth and being youth
That's what we
counselors.
did.
Yeah.
We did the assistant youth pastors.
Yep.
And then we had the college age thing after that, and that didn't last that long after Ryan left.
Yeah.
Actually, it didn't last at all after Ryan left. He was the key.
So,
I still keep up with a couple of those people.
Do you?
Christina and her family. We actually had a get together a few years ago, like before COVID.
yeah.
We got together with everybody from that era at Terry's house.
Really?
Yeah. So Terry and Mandy.
Yeah.
So we met at their house. Was it? Yeah, it was at their house, and everybody of that college age group came out.
So
I hadn't seen some of them in
I
forever.
still follow some of them on Facebook
Yeah.
and Instagram. But I really don't talk
I
to them.
was at, where was I? I was at a thing with Lauren, and I think it might have been defensive driving or something like that, because I know we were stuck together for like hours.
Yeah.
And I thought it was her, but I didn't say anything. And then it comes to find out later on Facebook.
Which one?
Lauren.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was funny that like we actually spent basically the day together. No. It wasn't. It was jury duty,
Oh,
which I have coming up again. God damn it. They're hitting me literally every 3 years. Every 3 years now.
now that I just got pulled over, I guarantee you within 3 months I'm going to have jury duty.
Yeah.
That is the only time I ever get jury duty is when I get pulled over by us.
That is weird.
I've only
An
gotten the
officer.
notification twice in my life.
See, Jessica's like that. But I mean, I don't know if she's ever changed her shit to this county.
Well,
Well, she has to. Her driver's
I-
license is
yeah.
set to her.
one was
She's never gotten it.
One was my county,
Yeah.
and it got canceled the day before.
Yeah.
The second I actually showed up for jury selection.
Yeah.
And they asked if anybody had a reason they couldn't sit on the jury. Right here, me.
Yeah.
At the time, I was unemployed, working as a gunsmith, doing everything I could to hustle, make money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I told them if I have to sit on this jury, it's going to be a financial burden.
Yeah.
And the prosecutor asked, so if you get to sit on this jury, are you going to cooperate? I said, no.
Yeah.
Said I'm going to be a combative asshole the
Yeah.
entire time.
Anything to get me out of here.
He said, are you serious? I said, well, we're supposed to be honest here, right?
Yeah.
And the judge is behind him trying not to laugh. And he said,
Yeah.
"Get out of here."
The
See, I never got to be part of. I only got to be part of selection in the. So the last time I got jury duty was the day I had COVID. The day I started showing symptoms for COVID, I was in jury duty.
I'm out.
No. So here's the thing, because
full mask, face shield.
well,
comes
no,
in.
so
Biohazard suit.
you wish. So I thought that they were gonna do like all the checkpoints and everything else like that, do any kind of testing and stuff like that, because we'd gotten notification that said we're following protocol. No. I fucking walk in there. They're not even checking temperatures when you walk in the fucking door, which, by the way, I was running a fever and didn't know it. Because I'm sitting here, because at that point they were moving people from room to room.
Yeah.
Like we all got together in one room. We did have to have spacing. Like we had to sit 6 feet apart, which we now know is bullshit.
It was all bullshit.
It was all
Everything's
it was all
bullshit, man.
bullshit. So the thing is, I'm sitting there and I am sweating profusely in this room that I thought was air conditioned.
Yeah.
And then by the time we actually get into the courthouse itself, where we're supposed to properly get set up for the thing, it's like, okay, there's only like 18 of us in there, and we're all spread out like 2 people per row or whatever. And they're going through the whole rigmarole of the fucking case, and it's a sexual abuse of a minor. And they said, do any of you think you cannot be impartial on this jury? And I raised my hand.
Yep.
And they're like, sir, why do you think you can't be impartial? I was like, I was raped as a child. It's like, so, I mean, I have feelings about it.
Yeah.
So I don't believe I could be impartial. And I think the fucking prosecutor was trying, but I think the defense won. So they dismissed me. But that's when I came home. And I fucking crashed hard. COVID just fucking nailed me. And at that point, I'm like, once we realized I had COVID, like 2 days later, we're like, should I contact the courthouse or something and be like, hey, you need to hit everybody on that jury because they're all going to be fucking sick.
It serves them right.
To hell with
But
it.
could you imagine if I was on that fucking trial and I'm just sitting there fucking
Pouring sweat.
legit sick, like running 104-degree fever and all this other shit?
Reminds me of that Kevin Smith story where he had an anal fissure and was stuck on jury duty.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was bad. Like blood.
That sounds terrible.
It got so bad they wouldn't let him go. So he was laying down beside the juror's box on his stomach.
Oh my god! It's like, yes, I have a literal physical ailment right now. My anus is bleeding.
The one and only time that I've made it to selection was burglary of a habitation.
Yeah,
Cops showed up. The guy is in there in the house with a backpack full of stuff that he had taken from the house.
yeah.
And the same thing. They're like, "Can you be impartial?" No, why not? Because I've had crap stolen.
I've had my house broken into.
My house has been broken into
by that guy.
You literally, you caught him. You're telling me they caught him, arrested him inside the house, and he had stuff on him? No, guilty.
Yeah, he's guilty right
Immediately.
now. I don't even have to go to trial.
Like I
We're
don't.
good.
Like I tell you right now, guilty.
Yeah. So what's funny, and I know why I got jury duty. I absolutely know why. Because I made fun of Shaun for getting jury duty the other week and having to sit through it. So he lives in a tiny fucking town. And so when they call 12 people, that's out of the 14 people available that day. So he had to sit through like all of it. He had to go through like 6.5 fucking hours. He was there for a while. And then eventually got out. But he said he was so fucking mad by the time he left that place. And I made fun of him the whole fucking time. I should have known karma was going to bite me in the fucking ass.
Well, even now, I'm gainfully employed, but I don't think I could still sit a jury because of my schedule. I'm not going to stop working.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to show up there either tired as hell.
I have to take a day off because
or,
it's 8 a.m.
Or start sleeping through the, sleeping during the trial.
See, the only thing, I've gotten out of a few of them because they just canceled the thing or whatever. And I think that was like on a Monday or a Friday. And it was, anytime you get afternoon, you're probably fine.
Yeah.
They're probably going to cancel that shit. But if it's 8 a.m. on a fucking Tuesday, that shit's going through. It's like, there's no excuse for that shit. So, and now they have digital thing for check-in.
Don't ever do the digital check-in.
What's that?
Because the second you digitally check in, you're automatically put into the juror selection pool.
Oh,
if
really?
I-
So show up in person?
So if you show up in person and like wait till the last few minutes to show up, because what they're probably going to do is they shotgun blast out.
Yeah, of course.
They need 30 people for the juror selection to find 12
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
if they have those X amount of people show up, by the time you get there, they're going to be like, hey, we already have enough people. Go home.
So don't even check in online.
Don't even check in online.
Just show up. Hey, my phone wouldn't work.
Yeah, just show up. Hey,
It'd be like, you have a computer, don't you?
Shut up.
I just the last
I don't have internet.
the last time I just literally walked up and I was like, hey,
I can no longer use that excuse.
Yeah, now you have internet.
For real.
just walk up and be like, hey, I got jury duty.
We got smart
Do you
TVs
check
in
in?
the house, and they've never been used smartly.
No, they still won't.
The tech.
Yeah, definitely the tick as it goes. Okay, so sorry, we got really derailed there. So
No
what
worries.
was the final straw? Was it Cheyenne getting yoinked?
No, oh, you mean Michaela, my wife?
Well, why did I say Cheyenne? Sorry.
It's my sister.
Yeah. Well, you said it the other day. That's why I was thinking
Yeah.
about
He
it.
said a lady's name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a kind of big final straw.
Yeah.
But like you, I had left, spent 2 years on the road in Tennessee. When I came back, everything had changed. Everybody moved on. New people, new faces.
Oh, because you said you went to the oil field for a while.
Yeah, I went to the oil field. It was
Similar. I came back from basic training, Army, AIT, all that, and the whole thing with the church dynamic has changed, gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was like on this. He was on the worship team and everything.
Yep.
So,
Hey,
you
we
know,
need singers.
and
We
in
need
that,
singers at our church.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
Come on.
and then into that 2 years of being on the road, I did a lot of soul searching and a lot of thinking and stuff. And,
Yeah.
you know, like a lot of people do, started seeing the hypocrisy of
Yeah.
the four-wall church, and, you know, did a lot of searching into, like, reading different versions of Bibles, really realizing that, you know, each Bible you grab and you go to the same chapter and verse, they all basically, they say the same thing, worded different to give you a different mentality of looking at it. So therefore, you can perceive that in a different way.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, well, started looking at older Bibles, you know, 1920s Bibles, and those wordages are completely, utterly different.
Yeah. of
got
course.
to talking to a good friend who is a barber, you know, and he's like, I've done the same thing. Here, I've got this book. This was during COVID at the time. He's literally cutting my hair in his house because everything's shut
How
down.
dare you?
I know. Fucking dude.
Was his name Matt?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. You know what Matt I'm talking about?
No, I do not.
Okay,
But,
I'm thinking of Bobby's grandson.
oh, no. This
Okay.
This guy worked off of 1488.
All right.
And
Jeff just assumes that everyone actually knows everyone else because he knows 10 people.
No, this was a guy that's been at a barbershop for 30 years downtown Conroe
oh,
before he passed away. Then his grandson took over
okay.
I don't even know.
and ran it to the ground because he was doing drugs and stuff. And
Is it the
Drugs.
barbershop that I'm thinking of? That
the one across the street from the Creighton, not the one with the three old men in it,
not the one that's across from
but
Red
the one
Brick?
with that tiny little.
Not the one
No,
across
the
from
other
River?
one.
Oh,
The
the other side. That's
Yeah.
okay. The
That
other
had
side
that
of Main
little barber
Street.
pole was on that very end of that little block.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
So
Okay.
on Main Street, not Simonton.
That's correct.
Okay.
Right.
Either way.
So, but he's like, here's this book on teaching you how to read Hebrew.
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
Hebrew?
cool. Yeah, Hebrew. Because I was going to teach myself how to read Hebrew and then read the one Bible that has never been transposed by man.
That's a big ask.
Yeah. I got halfway through this book on teaching myself how to read Hebrew. Like, why am I doing this?
You get tired of going.
Yeah. I was like, this is utterly a complete and utter waste of my time to, like,
Unless you're just doing it for fun.
yeah, no, I was not doing
It was
for fun.
so
I was
beyond fun.
I was doing a lot of soul searching, and slowly that conviction of, like, not going to church started, you know, going away, and I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, and you know what's funny in the men's group, because like most of us don't have physical Bibles on us, we're all using an app, or
Yeah.
I use a website. I use Bible Gateway. It's a pretty cool website. It has a buttload of versions. But the funny part is we'll have 4 or 5 of us sitting there, right? And it's entirely possible that we have 5 different versions of the Bible we're looking at, because now we do round robin readings of verses or chapters, and it's like, are you reading the same thing I'm reading? And then we're like, it's just not even the same language
Yeah.
almost. And we actually have had discussions about that in men's group, because it's like, well, hold on, the way this is worded I thought it meant this. And so, like, but I read it this way because mine is worded this way. And so sometimes it's a single word will be changed because, it, like you said, it's like whoever has the particular meaning they want it to mean, they shift it. So we'll look up the actual word in Hebrew and go, let's go, okay, what is this supposed to fucking mean? And then we put it into the context of the sentence. So we've had the same exact discussions when it comes to something as literal as a translation. Because we actually got off on like a 20-minute detour one night, which was not good, but it was a good discussion. Just not good for the flow of the group. Because it's like, because if it says it this way, that changes the context of it. So yeah, learning the original language, a fuckload of effort, if we're honest.
Yes.
It's not like you're learning it in Spanish or Latin, you're learning it in Hebrew, which is nothing even close to language or writing that we could even get after. I mean, even the Bible's translated through 3 to 12 different languages before it even gets to English almost. Not to mention get past the King James Version, which is already difficult.
So in my searching, I realized that the King James Version is actually written by 14 men, 14 clerics of the church.
Isn't that the Council of Nicaea or something
like
that?
Dude, I couldn't remember that.
Well, that's
what Nimea.
No, that's this show. That's this show. Make sure you like and subscribe. Either way, it was like the Council of Nicaea or something like that, and they're the ones who got together to figure out the books of the Bible, the ordering of it, and stuff like that. Because there's exclusions that we've talked about here on this show before, like the Book of Enoch and stuff like that, where certain churches they're like, nope, that's not part of it, and then other ones are like, no, that's a vital part of it, and then they're like, and then we're like, there's a what now? Who? There's like
the Dead Sea Scrolls really screwed over the Catholic Church when they, came to writing the Bible that we know as the Bible today.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. They're like,
whoopsie daisy.
That wasn't supposed to be found.
We weren't supposed to know about that. Sorry about that. And that's why the Protestants don't like the Catholics as much back in the day. They're like, yeah, I know we're talking about the same God, but your stories are a little more fucked up than what we got.
Right.
Yeah.
How come you're making all the money and no one else is?
Yeah, and also, hold on, wait, why does the entire world have to bow down to your one guy? Not that I really have a problem with the Pope in particular today, but, who knows? We get a new Pope every now and then.
Right.
Either way, I got my own individual problems with the Catholic Church, because that's how I grew up with Catholicism.
Yeah. Listen, I went to one Catholic church. No, take that back. I've been to 2 Catholic churches.
Yeah.
One for actually a mass, and one for a funeral. And guess what? They didn't change.
It has never changed.
I was made to go to a Catholic school for the 2nd and 3rd grade because my mother taught there.
Yeah.
And every morning we were in mass. Stand up, sit down, stand up, and sit down, spin around.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, no.
I had better glutes.
Try not to fart.
I will tell you, I was getting beat every day.
Those solid wooden pews,
yeah,
great for farting.
I mean, if you're trying to not be heard, yes, correct. It is
great for loud farting.
It's great for amplifying farts.
All the vibrations through
and
the
the
wood.
echo and everything. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
One time I went to a
Don't ask me how.
Yeah. so one time I went to a Catholic wedding.
Yep, me too.
I'm still there. I went to a Catholic wedding 25 years ago. I'm still there.
Yeah, I've been to one.
We took an intermission.
One Catholic church service and one funeral service.
Yeah.
And
Catholic funerals are long too.
Oh gosh.
It's like, yeah. I mean, go ahead. Sorry.
Being on my knees that long does not.
Well, it's friggin' it's a CrossFit and prayer.
Yeah.
It's essentially what it is.
That's what I said. Catholics have great glutes. They're constantly sitting and standing, sitting and standing. I will say our church also does a lot of sitting and standing, and I'm like, can we just do one or the other until we get through this part? I was just like, we don't have to stand again. It's like, don't tell us to sit and then 2 minutes later tell us to stand again. Just let us stay standing for 2 more minutes.
Can I worship from the couch?
Well,
give me 30 minutes of standing, and then give me an hour and a half of sitting, and then 10 minutes of standing. I'm good.
Yeah.
And then 15 minutes of lying down.
Yes.
Well, straight up.
20 minutes of speeding to the next Mexican restaurant for lunch after.
Oh yeah. There should just be a Mexican restaurant
I do
outside
like
of every
Mexican
Catholic
restaurants.
church.
I could eat Mexican food every day.
Oh,
rest
for
of my
sure.
life.
We haven't had proper Mexican in a while, but we're detouring from church.
We're detour a lot.
Yes, but I'm trying to keep us somewhat on track for the moment.
Whoever's staring this thing's drunk.
Apparently will, because I'm sober as fuck over here. Oh, we didn't pour any more whiskey before we came in here. What were we thinking?
Listen, I'm your guest. Like this
Look,
is
how do we have really good whiskey out there? Which, guys, by the way, make sure you watch our taste test videos. We somehow didn't pour any more whiskey for
if
ourselves.
y'all want to once again detour, I can take care of that.
I mean, if you want to go get us some whiskey pours while we continue the
Talk
church
about
discussion,
things that aren't the Catholic Church.
we'll get past the Catholic Church.
drop one ice cube in each glass.
I
Yeah.
was going to whether you liked it or
Okay.
not.
Yeah. All right. So back to the me and Will cam.
Yeah, right.
Yes, which I need to. I'll flip this in post because we're looking the opposite direction.
So
We're actually looking away from each other on,
Oh, are
on
we?
screen. Yeah, it's funny.
but after
So after basically getting through realizing I'm wasting my time
I just
studying a language that I'll never speak
we had tried several different churches, and actually
around town here, or even while you're out of town.
when I was out of town, my wife was still in town. She had found a church in
Oh, so you went off, she stayed.
Yes.
Okay.
She had found a church in downtown Spring
Okay.
that she liked. So when I came back, she's like, "Let's go,"
I'm kind of surprised y'all didn't end up at Trey's church.
which is Trey's.
I think it was Genesis. I mean, obviously he would have been there. You would have noticed.
No, I don't.
Because they were a young, hip thing starting over from scratch.
I don't know the name of the church that was in downtown Spring.
I probably know of the church that you're
Yeah,
talking about.
but,
if you don't know it offhand, it's fine.
We went once or twice.
But you're still making an attempt, even years later.
No, not.
Well, she was.
She was.
Yeah, so yeah.
She was. When you're on a pipeline, you work 7 days a week,
That is
14
your
hours a
church.
day. There is
The
no
mud is your church.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There is no going to church on the Sabbath. It is just work. But when I came back, we tried other churches.
Okay.
But the church that she fell in love with, like, I want to start going here. The guy that actually created the altercation from our church
Okay.
was now going to that church.
Oh.
So we left. We told ourselves,
Do I know that person you're referring to, or no?
possibly.
Was it somebody who was there when I was there, or probably gone?
Possibly. He may have just started.
Okay.
He...
Do I need to pause so you can tell me?
His name, well, I can tell you his name.
Pausing. Continuing.
So, yeah.
I do know that name.
You do. Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, he's the one that created the altercation. And I had been doing a lot of soul searching. That's about the time that I started, trying to learn Hebrew to read the Bible.
And this is what, 2019, 2020 by now?
2019, 2020.
Okay. So pre-pandemic.
Right before the pandemic.
Gotcha.
Because I had actually taken a layoff from the company I was working for.
Yeah, you
that,
said... Yeah.
That then went bankrupt.
Of course.
To go do a job in Dallas that fell through because of COVID.
Eef.
So
So you've just been bouncing all over at this particular juncture.
at that point, yeah.
There's a chair there, Jeff.
There is.
Trying to kill my hat, Jeffy.
Thank you, sir.
No.
Here, that one.
Give me the
that
proper
one,
whiskey
that one,
glass. There you go.
That one.
Thank you. I paid for them. Oh, by the way, I almost bought another set for bigger whiskey glasses.
So our roommate
That's
bought
nice.
us some. She bought me a whiskey glass and her and my wife a
Yeah.
Damn.
wine glass. Like you, I'm a big nerd. Definitely dabble very much in Dungeons and Dragons. So she had bought me.
Wait, you got into D&D?
I am big into D&D.
How did I not know this about you?
Dude, I am huge in D&D.
I mean, I knew you were a nerd, obviously.
Yes.
But I never knew you went that far.
Yes, I am deep into Dungeons and Dragons. Multiple books. Huge bag of dice.
A bag of dice.
So how much do you spend over at the Fat Ogre? Or how much time do you spend down there?
So I don't go to the Fat Ogre.
Okay.
Go to the adventure begins.
My
I go-
stepson spends a lot of time there.
I go to the Adventure Begins, and then there's
1488.
And by stepson, I mean 27.
Well,
and
he's older.
there's a place here in Conroe now called the Strategic Minds.
Yep.
Okay.
That
That's over there by South Loop.
Yep.
Yep.
That
I
I
saw when they were moving in. And
frequent quite often.
so we stopped at the Mediterranean place, like right next door to that.
Yes.
And they hadn't opened just yet, so I looked into them because I thought it was going to be like a gaming store.
Yeah.
And then I was like, nope, wrong kind of thing. I was like,
So they're actually not in that location anymore, thanks to
Okay.
the Dick landlord.
The Dick landlord.
Dick landlord.
Nice. Where'd
So-
they go now?
They are over there back behind the UPS store on Fraser.
Oh.
Like Enterprise Road.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're over there.
Oh, where the commercial kitchen supply
Yeah,
used to be.
yeah.
In the same slot?
A few
Okay.
rows back.
Huh. Okay. Interesting.
Because I used to
did
go
not
to the
know that.
kitchen supply quite a bit.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. That's
So yeah, they're moved over there now.
I bet it's a much cheaper lease too.
Much cheaper.
Way cheaper. Because Adventure Begins is really cool. Because I've gone in there to go for comic books and model kits.
Yeah.
And I tried to get a Gundam build day set up there. It never picked up. And then they expanded. Like they made a whole
There's
second story.
There's a second story and a second suite off of the.
Yeah, they added more. Yeah.
because their second story is where they have all of their Warhammer 40K
Yes,
tables.
they moved all the 40K tables up there.
And they do all of their Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic the Gathering.
Cards are all downstairs.
The cards are downstairs, but the games and tournaments are
The
upstairs.
heavy shit they put upstairs.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
And then
It's a cool location, though.
They actually have a really cool 3D model room. They've got like a very high-end 3D printer.
Really?
Yes.
I
So
might need to make use of that sometime.
And do people lease time on it?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
At
for
least,
use.
at least the way I understood it,
Because they had painting rooms and stuff like that when I went over there the last time.
Yeah,
where you could do more modeling kind of stuff.
Yeah, they had
Those,
miniature nights.
yeah,
Where you
100%.
bought a D&D kit that had the model, the paint, the brush.
Yeah.
And then you just got to kind of get together, and they had a professional painter, like go step by step on how to paint, do highlights, lowlights,
yeah.
details, things like that.
Oh, cool.
Now see, I had to stay away from D&D because it would be my whole fucking life.
Dude, it is.
Do you know why I don't play Pokemon Go?
Yeah, because it took over
Because
your
it took
life.
my whole fucking life.
Yeah,
My whole life.
Never done either.
really?
Nope.
Don't.
Okay, no problem.
No, we should.
With your weird addictive behaviors that you have.
I'll stick to my wood shop and swinging wrenches and
no,
I mean, you would enjoy. Well, you would enjoy the building part of D&D. I don't know
Yes.
if you would enjoy the gameplay part.
no.
No. Although you like narratives and things.
Well, dude, if you ever want to try, at least I will. I am a forever DM, forever dungeon master.
So my buddy Corey tried to get me to be a fill-in DM. I was like, you don't want that. And Eric, why?
I'll make
I was
you
like,
cry.
I was like, you don't want this. I was like, it's like, and then my not friend anymore, Eric, because he stole from me,
That bastard.
wanted me to join them to play their games, and I'm like, mm-mm.
Yeah.
And he kept pushing, and he's like, why? And I was like, no. I was like, I won't do it. I was like, I have enough fucking hobbies that I already focus on. I have enough collecting that I already do, and because D&D literally combines collecting and hobby, it is like, no, I just couldn't. It would be the only thing I fucking do.
I will. When I get home, I've got to clean my office up. My office nook.
Yeah.
It's
Like I might do a short campaign, like
Yeah.
a one evening campaign
I can
situation.
I can do a one shot for
Yeah,
you.
I know you could.
That might. I'd sit down on just a one evening.
Because
I can do a one shot.
of how my brain works, the thousands of stories I've fucking written to myself
Oh, yeah.
over the years and acted out to myself. Little known fact that being a lonely kid, you kind of make your own fun.
for sure.
So I mean, did I ever tell you that I wrote an entire Legend of Zelda video game over the course of a week?
So I believe we talked about that while we were playing Minecraft, building the Pillar of Autumn.
No, it wasn't a Pillar of Autumn. That was my ship that I designed. I forgot you helped with that.
Yeah.
You helped with the Retribution.
I did.
So it was you, me, and Andy probably working
Right.
on it.
Yeah.
So when I was into Minecraft, which by the way, it's on, as far as I know, it's on that Xbox right there
Really?
because I never finished it and I don't remember which. It's either on that one or the one below it. It's on one of those two Xbox 360s.
Well,
and I never finished it.
I will tell you, unfortunately, with the new updates and stuff,
Yeah.
it is gone forever.
Not if I just fire up that Xbox
Possibly.
and not connect it to the internet.
Yeah, possibly.
The other thing is, I know for a fact I put it on a USB drive to transfer it from one spot to another. I don't know which one. So that's a problem. Because I wasn't only playing Minecraft here at home, I was playing Minecraft at Laura's place too.
Yeah.
So I
That
took
is
it
so
with
much
me.
time to spend on just a game.
So hold on. Here's the thing. So you don't know about this. He does because obviously he was there. I took a Lego Millennium Falcon and redistributed the kit and made its own, basically like Star Destroyer sized ship scale wise.
So you basically made Minecraft Lego pieces.
Yes.
Pretty
Okay.
much.
I actually
And bag for bag, section for section in the Lego
I
build
didn't
kit.
No, I just built the thing in real life, and then I was going by. I figured out the math to what scale I wanted it to be, walk around scale, like 1-to-1 in that world. Figured out this is a flat piece, this is a 4x4, this is whatever, and I had the reference pieces on the ground. So if I said this piece is supposed to be this piece, there was the reference for whoever was helping me.
Okay.
And it was mirrored side to side. So what we would do is we like, okay, we're doing this piece. I'm going to do this side. You copy me. So that's what you helped with.
Yeah.
I don't remember. You probably were either helping with the landing bay or with the top deck, one or the other. if
So
had to
I
guess.
helped-
Or were you helping with interior shit?
I helped with
I know it's been a long time, but it's been 10 years since
I helped
stopped
with-
that project.
the structure of the ship.
Okay. Oh, you were in the early days. then.
Yes,
Okay.
the landing bay, and then the last thing I remember us working on was the
Atriums.
atriums.
Okay. So that wasn't part of the actual build, the real build, but I had to fill the gaps in the ship with something. So I made two separate atriums, and then there was another atrium in the back was the captain's cabin.
Yeah.
So it was actually like a whole interior forest on the ship. But if the captain wanted a little retreat from everything else, he was there. But I built like the whole warp drive and everything inside that was powered by lava and water. And I had that run all the way back to the engines, which were lit with lava that was flowing and then covered by blue glass. It was
Too
fucking
much.
awesome. You never saw it that far in.
Too
I didn't
much.
see it that far in. What?
But-
See, I did
Dude,
good to
months.
get through Red Dead Redemption on my Switch.
But here's the thing. It was just
on
building.
the Switch?
Yeah.
Wow.
They
Yeah.
ported it.
So the thing is,
That's the only console I have right now.
yeah,
Really?
So
That's all I got.
I played through the Minecraft at that point, the story mode, so to speak, before you got all the way through the Ender Dragon when that was the end of it. Now it's obviously significantly more. But I went into the full-on creative mode where you didn't have to harvest anything. You just had flat world,
Yep.
and you could build whatever. And this is on the Xbox, which was already a weird port because it was the only one that was limited. The PC version is infinite. You can do as long as you've got fucking room. You can build. And actually, I think those are on external servers anyway, so you could go forever.
Possibly.
So you could just pick a direction and just walk for days, literal days, and still be in the same universe.
Why would anyone do that?
Because you want to build a literal world. No, there are people who've taken the time to just build straight up fucking worlds. Either way. So away from that, what were we saying? Oh, the D&D thing. So you saw how obsessive I got with that.
Yeah.
So imagine I apply my story writing ability and model building ability to D&D, I would do fucking nothing else.
Yeah.
Literally. So you, though, you're into the D&D stuff at that point.
I am.
Going back to the leaving the church story somehow. I don't even remember how we got into. You mentioned the D&D thing. You were getting
Yeah.
into that. So
You should do a Bible based campaign.
there are some.
There
Those exist.
There are a few.
Falls of Jericho and thing like that.
Yeah, there are a few
But then
out there.
Twist it up, make it more us.
So I want to do, and this is a homebrew that I found on TikTok or YouTube or something, but this guy created a party full of paladins, which are holy warriors.
Yeah.
I know enough. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a crusade.
And turns out that this world is full of quote unquote zombies.
Okay.
But
Nice.
they're not traditional zombies. They're zombies that are like humans. Well, they kept going in and killing all these zombies, and they kept hearing about this party of bad people that were going in.
So there were
They're hearing about themselves
They
just killing
turned
people.
out to be the BBG.
so they
of
were
the
non-violent.
Hey guys,
They were
I think we're the bad
non-violent.
guast.
They were non-violent, sapient zombies.
Yes,
They weren't zombies at all. This is the point. They were
Just
normal people.
ugly people.
Well, apparently
Sorry,
these holy knights
Tennessee.
needed to take their hoods off every now and then.
Yeah. So and it
The bad
turns
part
out
is they were dark-skinned people they were killing the whole time. Turns out you're just the KKK.
oh gosh. Yeah, it turns out they were the party they kept hearing about were with them.
No more campaigns set in
hunting.
Alabama.
Oh, fuck. Anyways. Yeah,
But
that's
yeah.
bad. Or Mississippi.
I kind of want to do something like that. Something where like the good people that think they're doing the righteous work turns out they're just the screwed up, awful people
That would
then,
be us, yeah. I mean,
that then just get murdered. But going back to church,
You know, well, before that, idea would be interesting to have two separate campaigns going. You're the singular DM,
yeah,
and you have two separate campaigns going on, probably different night for logistical reasons.
Ugly
And
not
you're
zombie people.
and you're playing them against each other.
oh,
So it's the ugly
So
not
you don't
zombie
know.
people
They don't
and
know.
the paladins.
Yeah. So whenever you pick up the next match for those people,
Yeah.
they get the end result of what they've
what
done.
they did. Oh, that would be incredibly fun, but a lot of work as a DM to be able.
You'd have to record it.
Yes,
You'd have to record it, but you'd have to have your plans based on what they did the night before
Yes,
or week before. But that would be interesting to be playing two teams against each other that don't know.
oh gosh,
Whoa.
They don't know that the results are based on what the other team did.
on the last session, bring both groups together and be
Yeah.
like, "This is what's
That's real
just turns
life.
into a full-on battle
Actually,
royale."
the better way to do it would be
That'd be
if
fantasy football meets
No,
D&D.
no, actually, hold on. The better
Really
way to do
much.
it, the only way to really do it would be you're running concurrently in two separate places, and each DM has an earpiece
or
to know what's happening on the other side.
common Dropbox or whatever
no,
where they
no.
can log their stats.
It would have to be it would have to be at the same time because you wouldn't be able to keep up with the decisions made on the other side day to day.
Well, what it would come down to is I try to do a session every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That way it gives me time to take what they have done, see what, because I run most of my everything out of pre-wrote campaigns by Wizards of the Coast.
Sure.
And then take what they've done versus what they should have done versus what they need to do, and then rewrite the story to make it work.
Sure.
So I give myself 2 weeks to do that because...
And that's a lot. That's enough work for that. Yeah.
Yes.
If you're not going with just a pre-planned campaign, 100% pre-planned.
Because each session runs about 4 hours.
Yeah.
Now, 4 hours could be one full-on boss battle.
Yeah.
4 hours could be, a lot
A lot of travel.
a lot of just
side missions and shit.
just talking, a lot of role playing and
this is
stuff.
too much. But I think you would have to do it concurrently, and two different DMs, and they know what's happening on both sides, so that you do this, you get the reaction.
That or have it where you're doing it every week. But 1 week is one party, the next week is the next party.
That's what I was
that way
saying,
it's
but-
all fresh.
Well, the hard part with that is that, say, this person needs to cast a spell that affects what that person will do, but you don't have the reaction in the moment.
Yeah.
So you don't know if it hit them.
Well,
you see what I'm saying?
Leading up to it,
Yeah.
you could do a lot of like, oh, they're just ahead of you, they're just behind you, a lot of chasing, a lot of, escaping and stuff.
Yeah, you'd have to have it to where one party's behind the other somehow. But the other thing would be the one party affects the stats of the other person, of the other party in between.
Yeah.
That'd be the only way to work it. That's why I said, like, concurrently would be the only way to do it. But there's no way to keep it secret that they don't know what's happening is coming from somebody else directly.
Or
a competing group of
like
people.
say the party in front lays a trap as they move forward.
The
have-
story would have to be like a
have
pursuit.
them go ahead and roll
Yeah.
dice and know what the AC of all the party members are in the next session.
Yeah.
And that way it would limit a lot of dice rolls on the DM's part, on my part. But basically be like,
So lay it out as a pursuit.
yes.
It would have to be a pursuit and then a final battle eventually.
And then a final battle where you bring
both
both
together
parties
at the
together.
same place. This might be fun.
Dude, the more we're talking about it right now, the more I'm like, this...
Because the story progression would be based on what the other team did that week.
Yeah.
But in that way, like you said, setting traps or even the build up, but they never catch each other till the final end. And then you could either have it to where they're against each other at the end, or they have a common goal they didn't realize.
Yeah.
One thinks they're pursuing the other, and the other one actually has a proper goal, knowing they're being pursued.
Basically, one way of spinning this is one team is thinking...
Somebody's already done this, and we're just not coming up with
Probably.
this. Because there's no way
They're
this is
after-
an original idea. I'll have to hit up my buddy
Simpsons
Joe.
did it. Yeah.
I'll have to hit up my buddy Joe who does D&D stuff. But I think go ahead. Sorry, you said the way to do it.
is like one's after the BBEG, the big bad enemy guy,
Yeah.
and the other one thinks that's like a god or something that they're trying to get to, or treasure.
Yeah.
And one has a little bit more information.
There has to be a
team.
misunderstanding.
It would have to be that.
Oh, how about this? The first group goes, and they're raiding a town for some reason, and they have to get back to their boss. That's what sets off the event, and the other team is the one who has to pursue them because they were raided.
Yeah.
And that's why. But then they realize that in the end, that they have to fight something else entirely to come together. They either have to beat each other by the final stats, but the first team has to be weakened somehow, or else they're just always ahead, right?
Or another thing, because I just thought about this.
Oh, that's where the initial campaign idea comes in regardless.
Yeah.
So say you can choose the mountain path, or you can choose the caves, or you can choose across the river. So whatever they do affects them based on the main story, and whatever they do affects the other team, and that's their story. So one is not following the main story, one is following the secondary story. That's the only way that works.
Another thing that I just thought about.
I like this idea. And I don't even want to participate. I want to watch it happen is what I want to see.
Is something I've done in the past.
Jeff's just checking his fucking phone the whole time for anybody who can't see the cameras.
Shout
out to patrons, by the way. I didn't even mention the Patreon up until now.
Man.
It's fine.
It's something I've done in the past is I've given notes out to my party. Yeah. Like I've had to take a restroom break.
Yeah.
So I hand out all these notes and then just say, you are not the doppelganger.
Yeah.
But like one party's the doppelgangers and one party's not.
Yeah.
So everything the party in front is doing is making the other party look bad.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting idea of just two parties.
Yeah.
One is actual characters and one is characters as doppelgangers.
Yeah.
And they just keep screwing each other
over. Look at it this way. You don't even have to go that far because, say, the first team gets into a new town where they can hide for a bit, but they spread rumors about the people coming in behind them.
Yeah.
So now you got the townspeople affected by those people coming in. I like this idea.
It's a great idea.
But they can't know about the other team.
No, they can't. But
so one team is just doing a normal campaign. The other campaign is based off of what the people did the week before.
I will tell you the one flaw in this whole story is no matter who you get to play in these campaigns, half of them are murder hobos.
Yeah.
And it's going to screw everything up because all they're going to want to do is kill people for no reason.
But the thing is, that's fine because when they do the murder hoboing, there's our title.
What happens if you run out of murderees?
You move to the town.
Yeah, you just move to the next town.
So the thing is, the one team would have to be murder hobos to begin with, which is the inciting incident for the second team. And then the first team is just trying to get back home, but they know they're being pursued. The second team has no idea they're following somebody whose decisions are changing ahead of them. That's why I think it's interesting. It's two separate campaigns tied together, and they won't know until they get to the inciting battle. But that will be what's fun, is you get them in the same room at the end, and then you go, all right, bitches, this is what's been going on for the last 6 weeks.
Oh, that round robin would be fun.
Now they're going back and forth.
Sure.
Now they go back and forth, and the only person who knows how the stats have been going is you.
And at this point, I would be like...
And at that point, you make it, potluck.
This
Everybody
needs to be
hangs out, have some drinks, bullshit.
I think this would be fun.
I would 100% be like,
this.
hey, Group A, you need to show up at this time.
Yeah.
And then have Group B show up like an hour later.
Yeah.
But come in aggressive.
And come in so aggressive. And then, like, when they all get there, just be like, hey, wait right here. Don't move.
Yeah.
Don't talk. Like, nothing. And then come, like, into them and be like, all right, you need to meet the other party. And they're like, what?
What other party?
And then just bring them in and be like,
no, do it the other way. Group B comes in first because they got ahead to set a trap.
Hi, murder hobos.
And then Group A comes in an hour after setting up the traps.
oh, yeah.
That would, oh my God.
Nerf dart, silly
Okay,
string.
if this is
ambush them.
if this is not recorded, it would be a shame because it seems like it'd be fucking amazing.
So when I first started doing D&D, I had a friend that
we went from
does...
church to talking.
Yeah.
This is why I can't do D&D. I fucking told you this is why I can't.
Trust me, I mean...
4 days later.
I would literally do nothing but this while I was gone.
So the campaign I
Books.
run with my
Thick.
brother. Like, I explained everything, and this is my brother and his brother-in-laws, and like that side that were, I explained everything off. These people who still go to the church. I was like, I laid everything out, told them they needed to create a distraction for something.
Okay.
And they went into a tent that had a guy that was chained up.
Okay.
I explained it like this guy had been put to work. His body looked, and for a lack of better description, I said, looked like the guys from the Holocaust. Like,
Okay.
just
Emaciated,
malnourished,
yeah.
emaciated. And you needed to create a distraction to get all these out. And I explained this guy was in his, like, 20 to 30s.
Yeah.
Their distraction, take a lantern that was full of kerosene, dump it on the guy, take a tinderbox, light him on fire, and shoved him out of the tent.
Wow.
That's a rough church report.
I was like,
Wait, what did I miss?
No, here's the problem.
I was like,
he literally described
what?
him as a Holocaust victim and just said, "Cool, set him on fire."
I was like, what
Fuck.
are y'all doing?
We got showers in the back.
It worked. It's a funny story. We always talk about it. We always laugh about it because
Yeah.
it's just like, it's one of those decisions you can make in D&D. Just like, oh, hey, this is what we need to do.
Yeah.
Let's do this. And I'm like, let's not do that.
Actually, the fun part, the way we laid that out, basically half your writing is done for you by the actions of the week before. You just have to record what. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would have to just lay out a base storyline.
Yeah.
And
for the first group.
Point A, point B, point C, point D, point
Yeah.
E.
Because.
And then.
Well, you remember those old pick your own adventure novels?
Exactly.
That's what this is.
It is.
It really is.
But the thing is that at least the DM knows what the end results of any choice are.
Yeah.
But it still has
most choices, I should say, because some of them you're just gonna be like,
Why?
I got to get to here, and you did that, so we're gonna figure this out in the next 20 minutes. Because I don't know
what with the dragon?
that wasn't even an option that I considered. How did you roll that?
And that's the biggest part of a DM is learning your core group of people
Your role.
and like figuring out what kind of mentality their character plays.
All psychopaths.
95% of them are all psychopaths and or have childhood trauma.
Oh well, yeah, of course. If you die, if you have to escape into fantasy, of course you have childhood trauma,
Childhood trauma, religious trauma, just
sexual
trauma,
just in general.
just in general trauma.
Yeah,
but
this is why I
That
don't.
may be
use,
why I never got into it. I never
This-
felt
this
the
is-
need to escape until
this-
I was
this is
older, and
why
that's when
yeah.
I turned to alcohol.
yeah,
See, your PTSD could have easily turned into just being a D&D guy.
Could, but it
PTSD&D.
turned into overeating and alcoholism
PTSD.
instead.
Yes. Okay, I know the new name of the title. PTSD&D. You best believe there are army dudes who 100%.
so the guy that got me into
Oh, I know there's even in theater there were D&D games going on
yeah.
all over the forward operating base.
Yeah, of
so
course.
so the guy that got me into D&D
'Cause
is
hours of fun.
is a Marine, and one of his best friends also a Marine. They met in Kuwait. They were playing D&D at the FOB.
Yeah.
Anytime they had downtime, they were
Yeah.
playing D&D. It was their escape. So when they came back, they just continued to play D&D.
Yeah.
So that's how. And I had already. I mean, so I started watching Critical Role, which
Yeah.
is the nerdy ass
I'm-
voice actors
I'm
that
very much aware of who they are.
Yes.
Because I've watched Vox Machina.
Vox Machina.
Can't wait till they get past the
I've
Vox
seen
Machina
like
campaign.
2 or 3 episodes of Vox Machina.
It's fantastic.
Oh, it's a
That's
great,
funnier than shit.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and it's based off a D&D game.
it's
Really?
yeah. So
yeah, they
look
recorded it. Yeah.
look up Critical Role on YouTube.
No.
So it's literally a whole bunch of voice actors and actors who got together to do it, and they basically recorded it for YouTube. Or actually,
They started on Twitch.
It's pre-YouTube, wasn't it?
It's
I thought
they started on Geek and Sundry, which was on Twitch.
Yeah. Okay. It was on. I thought Geek and Sundry was its own website even before Twitch existed.
Yes, so it started on Geek and Sundry, then they moved over to Twitch, and now it's on Twitch, YouTube.
Because they're still going, which
Yes,
is insane.
they're on session or campaign 3.
That's it.
Yeah, so
Well, because they
Vox
did
Machina.
They did so many as Vox Machina. Then they did the next. I forgot the next one's got an even weirder name.
Vex Machina, and then the Mighty Nine,
The Mighty Nine. That's
and
it,
now I fell off of season 3. The last time I heard, they were the Hell's Bells. which
So
could be
Vox
different.
Machina has a while to go still before they even remotely get to Mighty Nine.
Oh yeah. If you're watching it on Amazon Prime,
Yeah.
they only
That's
covered
barely scratched the
yeah,
first campaign.
They
right?
only covered like the first quarter of
Yeah.
the campaign.
Which, even where they left
Yeah,
off at season 2.
That's where
has
I
been
found
great.
it. I got like 2 episodes in. This is different, and I'm bored.
Yeah.
Oh, it gets really fucking good.
It's
I get really bored really fast.
Yeah, that's a problem. I love Vox Machina. I couldn't put it down.
Really.
Yeah, couldn't stop fucking watching.
That's how I was with the 2001 Tick.
Yeah, you're weird. Yeah, I showed him the Tick last week, and he.
Well,
fucking
I saw
picked it up
I saw the
instantly.
newer one that
Oh,
came out in 16.
oh okay.
But
Yeah.
he introduced me to the one with
Patrick Warburton.
Warburton, and I loved
So,
it.
okay.
I watched all of them that night at work.
So the main reason is he mentioned a scene from the 2016 Tick, which was hilarious, and it reminded me of a scene from the original, which was him fighting a toilet basically. And
That whole episode, and every once in a while throughout the episode, there'd be a toilet
Yes.
or the same toilet,
Yeah.
and it'd gargle. He said, "Not right now, I'm busy."
yes, I told you.
And then he was in jail.
Yeah.
and it gargled, and
It's literally at war with the pipes.
yeah.
Yeah, so it was so dumb, and that's the only thing I remembered of that show was him fighting the toilet that one time.
Oh, that text I sent
Is-
you, I laughed so hard.
Yeah.
Is the Tick the one that
The big blue guy.
the big blue guy with the big chin?
Yes.
Yeah,
Giant chin,
okay.
And the robotic antenna.
Yes.
Well,
Did
you're
you
talking about the
notice you
cartoon.
can hear the servos
Yeah.
in his antenna?
Really?
Yeah, so they're there. They're real. Yeah.
I'm curious as to whether or not that was added back on purpose.
Probably.
'Cause,
Because it wouldn't have been caught in the moment.
It was
No.
funny.
Because he's definitely ADR'd that. You can tell by his lip movements.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's like, okay, good enough for 01. So how did D&D result you in leaving the church?
So it it didn't.
I know, I was
I had been gone from the church a long time prior to me getting into D&D.
So let me ask you just right quick though. Was there like a formal, hey, I'm done here? Or was there just never go back?
Just never go back.
Yep.
Okay, so that's what happened to me too. Just
Yeah,
never go back.
just walked away, never looked back.
Until you ran into somebody, hey, I haven't seen you in church in 17 years.
Yeah, no. And then I hit them with the I'm agnostic now, and they're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, it is what it is. I mean, I learned. I had met up with a friend that his brother was actually in my wedding. Well, we used to go to church together.
Okay.
And we got to talking, and I was like, yeah, I just religious trauma,
At bare minimum, church trauma.
church trauma,
Yeah.
just general stuff had made me leave the church. And
You know what was weird for me? When I found out what a certain dad of a certain group of people in our church was eventually caught doing.
oh yes,
Yeah, so I found out about that many years after the fact. And then he showed up one day at my apartment complex to work on someone's car.
Really?
Uh-huh. And he's like, hey, me. And I'm like, oh, this is awkward.
Bye.
I'm like, cool, hey, nice to meet you, bye, but whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
And then, hey, how's what's his face? And he's like, oh, doing good. It's like, okay, cool, bye. Yeah.
I know the exact
like-
person and the exact family you're talking about.
Yes, they're a pretty good family. Bad things happen there, obviously. I never got the full particulars, but I didn't want them. At that point, once I found out what had happened, I'm like, I don't need to hear much more of this.
I know it's been a long time, and I couldn't remember all the details. I've heard all the particulars of that story,
Yeah.
both sides of it,
Yeah.
and I just don't get myself into situations like that. I just, as a person that tries to be a good human being,
Yeah.
I just stay away from
That's why I
that situations
basically
because
kind of walked away from. I mean, he's literally in my parking lot helping somebody with their car, and I forget they're connected somehow. I don't give a shit, but I was just like, nope, don't need to follow up with you ever again. Sorry. It's like, given my particular trauma in life, I'm just like,
I haven't seen him in many years.
I don't know if he's still alive.
I've seen his wife several times.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never run into them in public.
She, from the last thing I remember,
Well, because I kept up with the older son
yeah,
for a while, even after I was out of church, because he worked at, the place down here.
yeah,
And so I ran into him a lot, because I ate lunch over there a lot. And then he was still planning to go in the military and all that stuff. I don't know if that...
he went into the
Did he
military.
finally?
Yeah,
Okay,
he went
'cause I
into the
know
military.
It was taking a long time for some reason for him to get in.
Yeah, I think he went into
Air Force.
nope. He was a Navy.
Okay, because he was looking at Air Force, but for obvious reasons, he probably wouldn't have got in. So
Yeah.
Navy makes more sense.
from what I understand,
Jeff's an ex-military guy, obviously.
yeah, he's Navy culinary.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So,
He was such a good kid.
oh yeah,
He was my partner in the sound booth.
oh yeah, for sure.
We were like equally nerdy. We were also both so over all the bullshit.
That's funny. My son runs sound at the church he goes to.
Yeah. And I mean, I run the sound at our church, which I had to call into church yesterday because Jessica had a really bad night.
Oh.
And that means I didn't sleep worth a damn. And then we finally got back to sleep sometime around 5:30, 6 a.m.
I can tell she's wore out sleeping out there.
Yeah,
Is she? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, she went and took care of...
I'm trying to get
errands and
Nixie to
stuff.
go sit on her, but she won't.
It's okay. But yeah, no, it was a rough night. Jessica's back has been really bad lately. So, but basically you decided to go full agnostic instead of just moving on to something else.
yeah. Full agnostic. I believe there is a God.
You're anti-church, not anti-God.
Yeah, I'm anti-church. But in high school, I took religious studies.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of background in learning about Buddhism, Hinduism.
Buddhism's not bad.
No,
I considered it for a while.
Yeah.
I really did.
the one I did stay away from is Islamic religions.
I have a massive problem with the
Well, it was hard enough to read.
religion of Islam.
Yeah.
Any religion that tells you to convert or kill the non-believers,
Yeah.
I got an issue with.
Yeah.
Well, Christians did that for a minute.
Christians has a,
but
has a
We did.
very-
It wasn't part of the doctrine,
The
but we
moving
picked
on-
it up as an idea for
Yeah,
a minute.
but it wasn't part of the doctrine.
Hey, baby. Take her out? Okay. You got the leash?
the Knights Templar, not a very good stain in the Christian
Look, we're just not
community.
going to talk about the Crusades, okay?
Yep.
So, but
It
and
wasn't
then
good for anyone.
and then after high school, doing a lot of research in Roman gods,
Yeah.
Norse gods. We kind of
I did that too. It's
Yeah.
called God of War.
a lot of Percy Jackson books were read in my life. I don't know why, but I can tell you a lot about Zeus.
No, a lot about Kratos. Yeah.
Kratos. Kratos. I love you. It's Kratos.
Kratos.
That sounds like bargain bin version. It's got
So,
the wrong A in it.
What, from
But-
Timu?
Yes, Timu. Yes,
Timu.
it's not even going to be Wish anymore. Timu's the new joke.
Dude, Wish is so gone.
Yes, Wish is gone. I bet it just became Timu.
I still have the app though.
Yeah.
I can occasionally.
So now
look.
it's Timu Kratos.
yeah.
Kratos.
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 Get it wrong right.
So,
Get it wrong, right? Fuck.
oh gosh. So now, but
I went down the wrong pipe.
Yeah.
hey, why not?
I remember my first whiskey.
I almost peed myself.
It does really good for your lungs. It's gonna clean you out.
That's like hand sanitizer for your insides.
Yeah.
Hey, if alcohol fixes outside boo boos, drinking alcohol fixes inside boo boos.
And or creates more.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
The whole cirrhosis thing.
Oh yeah.
Or rotting your belly out. You know, that kind of stuff. Something blood.
Dark side.
My wife's favorite saying is alcoholics go to meetings. I'm just a spiritualist.
I'm not an alcoholic. I'm spiritual.
Exactly.
Oh, actually, that's a double pun. Spirits.
Spiritual.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I never got that.
Yo.
That might also be a title of the episode. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm a spiritualist. Now I want a spiritualist liquor store.
It's either that or be wrong right.
If you're gonna be wrong right.
I'm gonna open up a church called the Church of Spirits. It's just a liquor store.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could technically call it a church. By weird, dumb naming conventions, I don't think you could.
We can call it the Religion of
But
Spirits.
for some reason, you can call a fucking
I'm-
strip club St. James.
yeah, okay.
I'm more partial to a religion based upon the Second Amendment.
Hey.
It's not so much religion as belief.
So you're Mandalorian?
There you go. The Mandalorian religion. Yeah, one of these days we'll have a round table. It'll be so much easier to sit around and do podcasts.
Yep.
Yeah, one day.
One day.
Get to building.
No.
What if I build one?
It's as much effort to fucking build the table as to just buy one at this time.
But I get bored.
I don't care if you get bored. You got a house to build one day.
Listen, I may need you in the next few months to build me one hell of a D&D table.
Nice.
We can manage that.
We can do things.
Yeah,
That'll be a team effort.
for sure.
Have you up to the farm, put you to work.
I was gonna say,
Hey,
you never
let's
saw
do
any
it.
of the tables I built.
Dude, that'd be a fun day. That'd be a fun Sunday.
That
I'm
ain't gonna
down.
be one day. That's gonna be a lot of days.
So I have a full on background in carpentry.
Nice. And I'm learning.
Oh, there you go.
I'm getting better.
I've built shit since I was a kid.
I can.
I'm still into the over-engineering phase when I build things. So I can build something for like my wife to hang clothes on, and you could put a rhino on it.
I grew up in a wood shop, so
there you go.
I know how to do
I can
most
build you a
things.
hell of a house or a dock or a bulkhead.
I can build tables and chairs.
Yeah.
I'm learning. I'm wood turning.
It's been a minute.
Oh, there you
I'm
go.
really enjoying that.
The only wood I ever turned was to make a pin.
I can lose hours and hours.
So it
Bowling pin?
No,
Oh.
like an actual
Oh, a pin.
I've
pin.
told this story here
PEN.
before, but I decided one day to max out my lathe. It's just a Craftsman mini lathe, 13 inches of working space, 8 inches max.
Yeah.
And I maxed it out. I took a piece of birch that fell and used my manual plane or power planer to knock off the corners, get it semi-round, and make it spin. Then I went with my carbide tips and just started mowing it down. Well, that day it stormed a lot for like 5 hours.
Oh gosh.
Tornadoes in the area. I had
This was not that long ago.
this was
Clearly.
like 3 months ago, something
Yeah,
like
this was
that.
earlier this year.
Yeah.
I had my earbuds in, I had my audiobook rolling, head down, face mask on. I look up, I'm done. Take a picture of what I was going to do. Forward facing camera. It's me covered in sawdust with my hair everywhere looking psycho. So I start laughing. Call my dad and go, "Hey, when am I?" And Dad says, "What do you mean?" So what time is it? He says, "It's 5." I said, "Holy crap, I started at like 11. He said, "You missed the tornadoes. You missed the storm."
He walks outside. It's
He
like
said,
fucking
"We-"
Armageddon
he said,
out there.
He said, "Here at the house, we got 6 inches of rain." He said, "You didn't see any of it." I said, "No, not at all."
fucking nuts. It's fucking nuts. I've never gone that far.
But it complete focus, zone out. I love it.
So I will in that zone. I used to be a machinist, and I worked on lathes and mills and stuff. The
That's
second
where
you
you
put,
and I ran into each other.
yeah, the second you put in earbuds, you throw on your
And you've got stuff to do, and you know what you're doing, and you know what your next process is.
Yeah.
Just roll.
you're in a zone. I started at on a project on a lathe one day for work, and
So I'm looking for a bigger lathe right now. I'm probably going to use a metal lathe for turning wood, just so I can get the maximum length and the maximum
Yeah, I
thickness.
mean, it's the same difference.
And if I want to and do full passes, I can set up the tool head to run and do passes for me.
yeah, the only thing you would have to change is the chuck on the lathe. You should
Yeah.
be good. So, but yeah, no, I understand. Being a machinist, I jumped in on a job at 7 a.m. when I
Yeah.
got to work, and they come in and start tapping me on the shoulder, and I'm like, "What's up?" And they're like, "It's 4 o'clock. Did you go to lunch?" No.
What's lunch?
What's lunch?
What
They're
time
like,
is
"How
it?"
many parts did you get done?" Like 30. They go, "Go home."
Like, just constantly just doing shit. Well, like, okay, so the last real wood I did because I every year for my birthday for like 5 years I would do a building project. I would take the vacation and I'd start it fucking Monday,
Yeah.
and get as far as I could by Saturday, obviously. So I did beer tables. So I did, and it was a small like 3x4 table, just 2x4s and 2x6s, and I put a window trough in the middle for an ice bucket, and then made 2 covers for it. You know, cool. That table is still in use at my buddy Rodney's house.
Oh, cool.
I actually made benches for it for his birthday many years later after I gave it to him.
Nice.
Second table I made was a massive upgrade from that one because it was dining room table sized. It had hardwood surface that I had done biscuits and all that and planed the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
And it was oak and pine. I made the pattern and everything. I took drawer sliders to make extensions so that it could close and look like just a normal table. Open it, it's got 2 troughs, and you add a couple little leaves in it for the fillers. So that existed for a really long time. Back when I worked at Southern Star, I had my birthday that year. I built it for that year. And that's one of the only times it got used for its real purpose, and it was still tacky.
Really?
We dropped it off after the first round of stain. And then it lived in my living room at the trailer with shit on top of it for years until I got kicked out of there.
Yeah.
And then it went to my parents' house after it had been disassembled. So the frame existed in the shop, and I don't know why we did this. We put the fucking tabletop in the carport on the ground. Great. Yeah, that's good for fucking wood.
Right.
So it warped all the fuck. So what I ended up doing years later, the next one I did was a beer table, but I did it in the round. First time I ever made a round table, which was fucking ridiculous because I made this bitch 48 inches wide out of 2x6s. And I didn't quite engineer it all the way, so it split the first time it rained and froze. But I had a crawfish bucket in the middle with a center drain, so you could do ice in there for beers and whatever. You could leave it there just for when you want to have a cookout and fucking throw your crawfish fucking tails in there, whatever. That was fucking fantastic. That exists at my cousin Jesse's house now. My uncle bought it off of me after I repaired it. So I made it for my niece for their housewarming. And then that was when we had that big freeze back in like 2017. We had whatever year that was. We had a huge freeze that came through. So it got rained on, and then it froze, and it split the joints. So the whole tabletop was busted. Mm-hmm. So I took it back, or they brought it down here, and then it took me a year, and then I finally got around to fixing it. Over-engineered it, like you said, fixed that bitch, and then redid the whole top because it got too weathered. And, I just stripped it and restained it and then did some wood burning on it and then sold it to my cousin. And then at that point, I'm like, okay, I want a new project for something I can fucking use.
Right.
And,
assembly table was that for me.
Yeah.
On wheels, roll around everything.
Oh, yeah, love it. So I took the old table that had now been sitting in the fucking shop all this time. I broke down the frame, so I got back my 2x6s and 1x4s. Built a new basic square frame instead of a 7-foot long bitch. Took the big tabletop, chopped it down, and I made 2 separate tables that clipped together. So 2 half-round tables that made 1 round table. So that if you didn't have space for, say, like a card table, you could break it apart, and now it's got 2 side tables that just go off wherever. And I stripped it all down. It was gorgeous, and that exists now at my cousin Charlie's house.
Cool.
Because all of my woodworking projects went to them to finish. Because I actually used it for my in my old nerd cave.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I needed more tabletops. So I had my review desk, which is not even that one anymore. That was our old kitchen table. And then I needed something else to work on. So one was over here for streaming and one was over here for recording other stuff. So I took both halves of the table, separated it, and used it in reverse. So it got used. One of the only projects I built for me that got used for years on end after being useless for years. And then now it's basically serving the exact same purpose at someone else's house.
Right.
Yep.
But that's a gorgeous table.
So, speaking of project, any upcoming projects for you guys? I don't care if it's working on something.
I mean, we
building.
got to do my car.
Yeah. Well, that's a you.
We got to
What
redo
you
my
got?
entire suspension.
Hopefully be moving here shortly. That's the big project coming up.
That's not a project.
Yeah, we're waiting on
No.
a new commander in chief, so the market will go down a bit. Then we'll be building probably.
So we got to wait
next
till
year.
2020, mid
Up,
2025.
near the farm.
Oh, okay.
But I got a basically a mobile appliance garage I'm building for my sister-in-law.
Nice.
And it's going to be 26, 28 inches long, wide, about that tall with 3 or 4 shelves. And I ripped 2x4s in half to get one and a half squares.
There you go.
And I use those for the uprights. And I'm thinking oak boards lengthwise with runners.
Right.
It should work real well. And do a full sheet skirt about that far off the ground with the wheels hidden inside.
Well, I'll tell you, if you ever
That
need,
sounds like a pain in the dick.
It's going to be nice.
if you ever need very good grade treated lumber,
Maybe not treated. I'm looking for 8x8 maple.
can't do 8x8
'Cause,
maple. I can do 8x8.
Well, here's the thing. My stepdaughter's getting married.
Yeah.
And for her wedding gift, I'm going to turn all the wooden cooking utensils, plates, cups, saucers, bowls, any honey dippers, anything I can think to turn or make out of that maple. I want to do goblets. Instead of cups, I'm doing goblets.
I've got some 8x8 cedar 6-foot tall posts.
Oh, sweet.
If If you need some of those, just hit me up, man.
I actually got 12 2 by 2 at 8 feet long on the top of my van right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that was what's on top.
Yeah, the cedar.
Yeah.
Yeah. My buddy works for a recycle,
gotta stay
county
away from
recycle, and he grabs me stuff constantly.
I told you if you needed
That was $200 of wood.
Oh, yeah.
I told you if you need a pallet wood to come by the.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you set aside some oak?
I can't tell you what the wood's made out of. It's fucking
Well,
wood.
well, the really hard, bright white ones. Yeah.
Well, I told you I built shit out of the pallet wood, and I couldn't tell you what the wood was, but it was gorgeous.
Yep.
95% of the time, it's pine. Pine or
This
oak.
was not.
If
This was not pine.
Trust me, with that van
The-
I used to work out of it, anytime I saw oak pallets, I snagged them in a heartbeat.
So the 2x4s were pine. The planks that were on top, I don't know what they were, but after I ran them through the planer, because they were used once and then set aside. I hear a puppy whining.
I do.
Yeah, she's outside once in. You let her in. She ain't gonna do nothing stupid.
Play the drums.
Yeah, as long as your tail stays away from that shelf over there, we'll be okay. Hey, Nixie. I guess because Jessica's asleep.
My little dog, she's here hanging out
Actually,
with
Jessica's
us.
not asleep. She came in and checked a minute ago.
Yeah, she went outside to go break. She's hot.
Oh, okay, yeah. She just wanted to check. I should give her some water.
Bless
Either
you.
way. So, I mean, like, for now, she's okay. So I just knew she really wanted in here with Jeff. Just mind the tail on that side. It's like, as long as she keeps it away from the fucking shelves, we'll be okay.
She will destroy that.
Yeah, everything's going to get falling the fuck over. It's okay. She's a good girl. Lay down. Lay down, Nix.
Nope.
Hi.
Good
Anyway,
girl.
on with the show.
Yeah, I mean, we got a few more minutes. We're good. We're already at 2:15. Either way, go ahead and close the door, Jeff. For the time being. It's okay. She's like, okay, you want to go? All right. Good enough. She checked in with Dad. It's good.
Hey, Dad, I'm back.
There we go. Now she's like, Jessica's doing something out there. Good, as long as she's bonding with Jessica. Shit, I mean, I don't really have anything else going on, like project wise.
See, that's an always thing with me. Hell, after the
Well, you only just got back in the shop the other day after
for
doing
real, I've been in a
fuck all.
funk. But after that, it's a flattening jig.
I told
so
you that.
full big pours and
Yeah.
slabs and everything.
Well, once we move, I've got to go pick up my four-wheeler, get it back over.
In what area are you moving to?
Right around the corner.
Okay.
Just over by McDade.
On the loopy thing.
Not in the really wet part, huh?
No. We're gonna
I was like, I wouldn't go there now.
no.
It's cheap.
Yeah, there's lots of cheap houses down there now.
No. We're a little farther back from the river, so we're past.
Yeah,
the,
when you said that, I'm like, oh, you mean the part that loves to swim?
Yeah, no.
House on stilts.
Trade in the four-wheeler for a boat.
We'll talk. We'll talk exact location out off camera.
Oh, yeah.
I do want to know because if I can help in any way, I'll help.
Oh no, I when we moved from our
Hiring movers.
You did,
yeah, when we moved from our
Yes.
other apartment to our current apartment,
Yeah.
And we got a third floor.
Yeah,
I feel so bad for all of our really good friends. that
dude,
helped
what do you
us
think
move.
happened? We paid somebody to move
Oh,
here.
I absolutely detest moving.
I'm 100% paying movers to
Dude,
move.
I
us off the
almost
third
gave
floor.
myself a hernia moving just the small amount of stuff I moved in here.
I've got one move left, and I'm done. Rest of
Yeah.
my life.
Yeah,
DUN, done.
yeah,
Yeah, no, with my back being as messed up it is, I cannot carry anything up.
yeah. Your back's even more messed up because he was just in a car accident a few weeks ago.
Yeah, we got rear-ended.
I'm the healthy one.
Yeah,
barely.
we got rear-ended pretty damn bad. Dude totaled out my wife's car.
Oh, that sucks, man.
18-year-old kid, no license. So,
Fucking kids.
I swear.
Fucking kids. I could watch your kids fall down all day.
Don't give a shit about
18-year-olds.
them kids.
If 18-year-olds are falling down, it's pretty fucking
I'm
bad.
Oh,
still going to point and laugh.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, and then pick them up.
So, but yeah, no, I got to get our four-wheeler over and get that ripped apart. I've got an issue that I got to try to hunt down.
Yeah, we got crooked handlebars and an old Honda Rancher. We got to get
So
running.
we've got a Honda Foreman,
Yeah.
450, the always locked into four-wheel drive at all times. It's got the temperature light keeps coming on. So I don't know if it's a faulty thermostat or if it's I don't ever hear the air cooler coming on.
Check the thermostat and check your fan relay.
Yep.
Yep.
So but
I was gonna say if it's got a temp sensor, that would also do it. It's not registering the temperature, so the fan doesn't come on.
yep. So
Replace them all.
but the light comes on the handlebars. It pops the little red light that says oil temp. So it's definitely somewhere.
So it's registering overheating, but it's not doing anything about it.
But it'll do it. The last time it did it, it was during one of the freezes when we were up hunting.
Okay.
It is literally 32 degrees out in the morning.
Yeah.
Started up.
It may not be hot. It may just be a faulty sensor.
And that's what I'm thinking, because I didn't even make it 100 yards before the light came on.
But it's freezing, literally.
It's freezing
Have
cold.
you seen the dipsticks that have a temperature gauge on them?
No.
Get one.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Never considered that.
That'll give you
it's
an
basically
analog.
It's basically a giant probe.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah,
So-
they make them.
That four-wheeler is set for many years, so I wouldn't be surprised if
Yeah, it's 4-wheeler motor, so it's not like it's a long dipstick.
Yeah.
if field mice have gotten into it, because all coating on electrical wiring is a soy base.
It used to be, yeah. They
Yeah,
had to
Happened,
switch, they
happened
switched
on
it
my
from the
wife's
90s.
Prius. Happened to my one of my trucks.
Yep.
Got
I
chewed
wouldn't-
up, my F150 EcoBoost.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if my neon isn't all chewed up. So I don't.
I mean,
So-
the little car was terrifying.
Yeah.
Anytime the wrong wires touched each other, the brakes would lock up for no reason at all.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was scary.
Yeah, so you kind of grew up in my neon, my second neon.
Yeah, the second neon, yeah.
Well, and the first one, technically speaking. But right now I have the 4th iteration because it's an amalgamation of 4 different cars at this point.
Oh, yeah.
So I took all the good shit from both of the cars you knew of and put it in a new shell. And then it had a bunch of wiring gremlins, and I needed a windshield
And
installed.
now only he can ride in it.
Yeah.
Or it goes.
No. Now I don't even know. I don't
Yes,
even.
it does.
No, I don't even. No, you're talking about the SRT. I'm talking about my neon.
Okay.
I'm talking about my original neon, my 95. That's at my parents' house. Probably full of rat shit and piss.
Probably.
And it's
so.
been under a cover, sort of, for years. And then they put all my spare parts on top of it out there.
Oh,
And
perfect.
so they wanted the garage space back, so I just took all my shit that needed to not go out in the carport and put it out there. Mind you, it's their shit, okay. But
Why was your shit in their shit?
because that's where it was. I put the car
Because he's in a not house.
Yeah.
because my dad never parked his truck in the garage. He always parked it outside, which I guess my car being there would probably be the reason. But my car was already in the carport with half of the other stuff. The other spot of the carport was filled with pallets, which we eventually got rid of. So he put the lawnmower out there until the tree fell on it. So then he started putting all the fucking, or he took all the good shit, like ruined what was effectively a almost brand new fucking carpet. Because they balled it up, threw it on top of the car, and then it got rained on, and then when I opened it up, it's full of fucking rat turds.
Yep.
I'm like, thanks, now I can't put this carpet in the fucking car. So either way, it's just sitting there. My friend Ryan is thinking about buying it off me, though he doesn't need another fucking project car.
Yeah.
The irony would be is some of the parts in my car are from his old neon. So I'd be like, you'd just be basically buying back some of your car parts. But if it could stay in the quote-unquote neon family,
Yeah.
then it would be good, because I know somebody would eventually, because that motor was fucking rock solid. I built the
Right.
shit out of that motor. You know how fast it was.
Oh, yeah.
Were you in the car? I don't know if you were in the car, but I went to go pick up, you remember Kenny?
Mm-hmm.
So Kenny and a couple of the girls. Oh, the Ashley and her sister, Elizabeth. So I picked up the 3 of them in my neon. Mind you, I'm in the car.
Yeah.
We're not light people.
No.
I'm driving up from 242 to come up from the freeway, right? And there's this fucking old Integra, round light Integra, that's fucking matte black spray canned, running open headers. And he thinks he's hot shit. And mine also slammed to the ground.
Yeah.
He thinks he's hot shit. He lines up and revs at me on the 45 feeder from 242.
Yeah.
And I'm only going up to RP, right? And I'm like, everybody buckled in? And they're like, yeah. Like, hold on. And I fucking downshifted to fucking 3rd. Mind you, I'm already just going feeder speed. I look over at this motherfucker and I'm like, I'm going deaf because we got the windows down. That AC didn't work in that fucking car.
No, we did not.
But I just throw it in the fucking 3rd and floor it. And I'm already fucking taking off on this fucking Integra who thinks he's hot shit. He's got a B18 or a B16. I don't know which. It don't fucking matter.
But-
his VTEC didn't fucking
but-
work. What?
You're in a neon.
Yeah. And I'm fucking kicking his shit.
That neon.
You
had
don't
some good
understand
up and
how
go.
quick my neon was.
I guess I was spoiled because of my quick cars, my 80 model Camaro, my WS6 Trans Am.
Yeah.
I'll put it to you this
My
way: this
5.9 Cummins that would outrun anything up
Yeah.
to 100 mile an hour.
So Jeff, we're sitting there with fucking 3 teenagers and me, not quite as fat as I am now, in this fucking neon with its purpose-built engine and fucking track suspension.
Still, neon.
Yeah. 2 liters of fury, motherfucker. Either way, like I said, this fucking dude in this Integra who thinks he's hot shit, and I'm just fucking pull on his ass, and I didn't need to get on the freeway, but I needed more room. So
Yeah.
I fucking cut him off, and I got on the freeway, and we're going like 105 before we get to RP. That's not that fucking far.
No.
It's not.
And mind you, it's not modern traffic either. And like he's just, like just fucking wide open fucking exhaust on that car, and he can't even remotely keep up on me. I was like, that's why you fucking go with a high flow cat and 3-inch exhaust, dickhead.
I'm actually eyeballing a new motor for my Suburban.
Yeah,
Buddy of mine's got a 6.0 ready with 5.3 heads on it.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
And it's got the LS3 cam under it. And he says it's turned to 475 drop in, ready to go.
Now look, I'm not
Which
gonna
in my
say.
Suburban's not stupid
Yeah.
fast, but it'll get out of its own way.
right.
Well, look, so in defense of the neon, it's like it was bored over with high compression pistons, a fat cam, computer tune.
It has the same
ignition.
displacement as my motorcycle.
Yeah, but your motorcycle weighs nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the neon weighs 3 times as much as the motorcycle. But
I don't know. With me on it, we're at 1,300 pounds.
The crazy thing is
Well, not
everybody
13.
that came from that time in our church,
Uh-huh.
y'all all had neons. You had a neon.
Well, Trey had a neon because he bought my
Trey-
friend's neon.
Trey had the neon, and then
Joe had a neon because
neon.
he bought another one from my other friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was the same group of fucking cars is what it
Yeah.
was. Yeah, that's why. But-
Everybody had neons.
because it came from me is what happened.
And then I remember-
the only reason I got into a neon group was once Wednesday when I was taking you guys for a ride through RP,
Yes.
and my eventual friend Matt saw me
Oh, did he?
because I posted in the neon forums, and he's like, "Hey, I saw this car running through RP the other night." So when I took y'all for a quick trip around, show you how fast it was through the
Yeah.
corners, because I built the suspension on that bitch. It went around corners. And he's like, "Oh, hey, I recognize that because my exhaust, my unique exhaust
Right.
system on that car, which it still has, by the way.
Does it?
Still has the same exhaust, so it still sounds the same. Still the same motor, same transmission, all that, even though it's on its third body. But either way, like compared to the SRT, it's not that fast. But for what it fucking was versus most other NA cars of that size, like I kicked the shit out of a supercharged Mini one night. I fucking kept up with a 5.0 Mustang who thought he was hot shit. And he's like, he's trying to pull away from me and he couldn't. I'm like, fuck you. I was like, I'm just in third and flooring it. And he could not get away from me. It's like, he's just like, I was like, eventually he had to turn off. But we were going way too fast down 1485. Way too fucking fast.
There's a dude, I used to live over Cut and Shoot.
There's a reason I got so many speeding tickets as a kid.
Down that Whippoorwill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how twisty it is.
Yep, that's a great road.
I was in a Dodge Dart in front of me. I was in the WS6.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't go fast enough. So I just started romping on the throttle. And, performance exhaust on it. Sounded great.
Yeah.
And he started trying to get away from me. Started trying to haul ass. And I was, 4 feet away from his bumper the whole time. He finally turns off.
That was
Tries
me,
to
you
make the
dick.
turn where he was going to go.
Yeah.
And winds up sliding into someone's yard, spinning out, almost ends up at their front door. I just, meow.
Well, there was one time leaving work, going out 1485 east, off of 105.
Yeah.
And you know where the concrete plant is? Mm-hmm. So, that little right there? So, I got this Chevy single cab behind me, lowered Chevy single cab.
Right.
I can hear his 350 making noise. So, I'm like, okay. And I was like, I know what my car can do. I know I got sticky tires, and I know it goes around corners. So I'm going into this fucking turn, but I hit a patch of sand. Now, mind you, it's a just short S turn.
Yeah.
It's basically a little right and a little left. I hit some sand due to that fucking concrete plant. And so, but I just let off the gas, and I drop it in neutral, and I fucking pull it back. Because I was about to go across into that fucking grass field. And so I pull it back. I look in my mirror. He's fucking fishtailing. And I think he went off. And I'm like, I put it back in gear and fucking just caught it and kept going. I'm like, fuck you. And I was like, that's what you get.
So-
Like, front wheel drive is good sometimes.
No, rear wheel drive, throttle out, power out, keep
He
going.
he clearly couldn't do that.
Spin around again, keep going.
Yeah.
So
Then you got oncoming dump trucks.
Yeah.
And I was like, nope, I'm good. I'll just floor it out of
with
this.
my wife's car being totaled, we've been looking for a new vehicle. We still have to hear from the adjuster and whatnot.
I'm right there with you.
So I got to looking last night because she wants she had a Honda HRV, little SUV.
Yeah, I
but
know.
she wants something a little bigger.
Yeah, definitely bigger than that.
She wants a 4Runner, and I'm like, your 4Runner is $40,000. We kind of can't afford 40 grand right now.
Yeah.
So we got to looking, and I was looking at Toyota, Dodge, and Toyota, Ford, Honda, and then we get to Dodge. Someone was selling a 1994 Dodge Suburban with a Dodge Charger engine in
It's
it.
a Dodge Suburban.
Yes.
No, that's not a thing. Chevy
sure?
Suburban.
Is it a Chevy Suburban?
Yeah.
Chevy
Dodge
Suburban.
did not
Probably
be-
swapped with was it a Hellcat or?
I don't know. It just said a Dodge Charger engine, and I'm like,
Even if it's the 5.7 Chargers, and they're decent.
Yeah.
Now, if it was a Durango, that would make sense.
yeah, no, it definitely wasn't a Durango. It could have been a Chevy. I just
If it said
remember it.
Suburban. Yeah, it's Chevy.
See,
Yeah, because I just remember it saying Dodge, or it was 1994 Dodge Charger, but it had the picture of a Suburban.
Ram Charger.
see,
a Ram
I'm
Charger.
worried right now about my little cargo van. The transmission
Yeah.
going out. I've already had a second transmission put in it.
You're driving it
reman
too hard.
probably, but
You're the one who says you drive like a grandma sometimes.
sometimes. But a lot. That
But
thing
you
also
hauled
has
a lot.
That heavy.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm looking for another one. I've got a sickness. I've got an addiction to conversion vans.
Yeah.
Full on conversion vans.
Why not? They're all the rage right now.
Well, and they're expensive, man.
Yes.
They were always expensive.
I'm
They were
talking
cheap back
2014, 68,000 miles with the 5.7 for 34,000.
Yeah.
I mean, ridiculous.
Dude, the
And
market was destroyed when they did the cash for clunkers. Destroyed the market.
I'm gonna get one because I do site security for a living.
Yeah.
That'd be the perfect vehicle for me to get in the back seat, kick back in the reclining chairs,
So-
and
Now,
just sit and watch.
You know what I want? I want a Daihatsu mini truck.
Of course you
Dude,
do.
I'm about those right now. I want one too.
Do you watch Mighty Car Mods?
No.
You need to watch
We
Mighty
could
Car
start a
Mods.
new YouTube channel.
No. I don't need more.
Mini truck fights.
I already have 4.
We can
Mini
drive
truck
around in
more.
the Daihatsu, pick road rage fights, and when we get out, watch their
So-
reaction.
So, okay. So because I directly attribute Mighty Car Mods for the increase of K-trucks
Yes.
in the area. In this specific area where we live.
in anywhere,
But
that's not.
But they're not available in the U.S. They're coming from Mexico.
Yeah.
So that means they're being imported at least from Mexico and then Japan.
What I'm waiting for are the 2004 Beetles.
I know you've mentioned that before, but I don't care about that. This is much better. So up until that, they were still doing the old body style in 04 in Mexico.
So
of Beetles.
You said like the original Volkswagen Beetles.
2004.
but
they
they
were
were making them in
continuing
that.
to make the original body style Beetle up to 2004.
So
And now you can import them.
yes, because they're 24 years
really.
old.
Yeah.
So the crazy thing is I was
No,
on
20 years old.
I was on TikTok and it was like things that my husband would buy on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
They had taken a
Baja Superbug in a heartbeat.
it was a PT Cruiser
Fuck yeah.
that was jacked up like a
Yes.
Baja Superbug,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Yep.
you know what? I would.
Do you know how they did it?
100% fucking buy
Do you
that.
know how
right
they
now.
did it?
How?
The Jeep Liberty was the same platform.
Oh, really?
Yes. So I actually, if we hadn't destroyed the PT Cruiser, my idea for once I got something new was get an old Liberty and swap the body out.
It had you a little,
And have 4x4 PT Cruiser.
had you a little hellbilly truck.
Yes. Well, because there's also PT Cruiser truck conversion kits like they did for the Volkswagen Beetles.
They also have the Beetle truck conversions.
That's what I just said.
You said PT Cruiser truck conversion.
What did I say after that?
Listen, I was not listening.
They have PT Cruiser truck conversions like they do for the Volkswagen Beetle, is what I said.
friends
Jeff
of mine-
doesn't fucking listen.
Friends of mine, Mike and Chris, did one.
Yeah,
That
that's
little
my
lime
friend
green.
Matt.
Yeah, Matt.
Matt and Chris did that.
Yeah, that's
So,
a great little truck.
If
Yes.
I ever do a Baja build,
Yeah. I don't need a Baja truck, but I wanted to do
100% smart car.
Really,
that. You know,
fucking
I've been thinking lately I actually would
Smart
love a
car
smart car.
will extend it a little bit longer.
we
Put
have
a bigger engine
We
in
have
it.
the
Just get the
Overland
Smart
build.
4.2.
Huh?
That's the bigger one. Get the 4.2. It's bigger.
The 4.2.
Yeah.
We have the platform at the house. My wife's '98 Pathfinder 4x4.
Yeah.
Actually,
That's
at that
a
point, just get a
great-
Gator. It's the same
Gator.
thing.
I mean, that'd be a
Same fucking thing as a
fantastic.
smart car.
Like, I just want to show up at Baja with a
Oh,
fucking...
just take a smart car
smart
body
car.
and put it on a Gator frame. That actually would work, right? Basically.
Possibly. It needs...
It needs to be on a Razor, the ones that can do 60.
Yeah.
Oh,
it
that's what I mean,
Definitely
Razor.
needs to be on a bigger, souped-up engine.
Yeah, that's what I was
platform.
thinking.
Polaris
Razor.
fast truck.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so there's a guy in Montgomery that I see often who has a Honda Acti, which is a K truck.
Okay.
So it's a tiny cab, right-hand drive with the bed, with the dump bed. And so I've seen a bunch of those for sale on Marketplace. It's basically the same thing as Marty's K truck.
Are they registerable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I want one of those Honda Actis, and I want to get a fucking S2000 motor and put it in it. The fucking 2-liter or 2.4
Well, how
liter.
small are they? Rockabusa engine,
No. I want a-
1300 cc.
No, I'm going to put a
V12.
Honda 4-cylinder in that thing because it's that way I can still buy parts for it effectively.
True.
Busa parts ain't cheap.
So is the
But Boost Part go
embargo from importing a Japanese vehicle still in effect?
It's
Is
not
that
by it's by year.
by year?
by year.
That's why you can get Skylines
It's
now.
emission standards. There's a truck made by Isuzu that my wife wanted really bad. It was called the D-Max.
Yes.
And
Okay.
it was similar to the new Ranger, the new Colorado, the same stance, small 4-door pickup truck.
Yep.
But it looked way better, more aggressively designed.
Well, it's like the Toyotas.
33 to 40 miles a gallon on the diesel, 4-wheel drive, active hands-free lockers. It was a little beast.
Yeah.
And GM petitioned the federal government to ban the sale of the Isuzu D-Max because it would hurt their small truck sales.
Except
Really?
it
That pisses me off.
Do you know? Hold on. The Fat Electrician covered this.
I know.
Do you know why we can't get cool trucks like that?
Why?
Do you know why they claim emission standards?
Why?
Because they adjust the emission standards by the size of the vehicle. That's why our U.S. trucks are becoming massive. And why you can buy a Ford Ranger that's the same size as a 1995 F-150.
Yeah.
Because it's now going by the emission standards of that truck, not the modern truck.
Yeah.
So these small, very fuel efficient trucks will destroy the same size trucks here because they actually have way better emission standards because they're running very powerful small 4-cylinder
Well,
diesels.
look at the the GMC Canyon with the diesel.
Yeah.
That out-tows the 1500 platform.
Yeah.
And gets 33 miles a gallon.
And that's why they can't
So
sell you as many of them.
If I ever decide to buy another truck, which I
be
probably
that.
No, if I need to.
For running around, yeah.
There's one that I want. It has a very bad rap in the military community right now, but I 100% want a Toyota Hilux.
That's what I'm
no,
literally
that's
Googling.
not a bad rap. That's
This is what
awesome.
I'm
Those are
literally-
badass.
Those fuckers have been put to their paces through Afghanistan and, Iraq.
And I want the
Hold
one
on.
they set up for the Arctic expedition.
No,
on
no,
Top
no,
Gear.
no. Fuck that. The new Hilux. This is literally the new Hilux is basically this right here. So you buy that body with a flat body delivery truck. It
And
costs
we can't-
$16,000.
We can't get them.
It only costs $16,000.
Now-
and the reason they won't import it is for exactly why I told you.
Now,
This is why the Fat Electrician talked about it.
Now pull up the D-Max, Isuzu D-Max.
I don't want to. I want to pull that up though. That's a Hilux.
yeah, I
I mean, even look at that one. Look at that. Even that Toyota
Then
Hilux.
what's
is
that other
better.
Toyota truck that was boxier, looked more like a Land Rover?
That's a Land Cruiser.
Yeah, Land Cruiser.
the Land Cruiser.
We get the Land Cruisers.
No, there's another one. It was smaller, more modular.
That's something else.
Yeah.
They've got a couple of small
See
tiny vehicles.
that red one right there.
This? Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
the top
that
tier
one.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Uh-oh. Droid cam one needs to be plugged in. Is there a charging cable over there? Should be one dangling.
Right
The
now,
white one or black one? Yep. This one needs to be plugged in. Right here. Pick the white one or the black one. It
I've
don't
got the
matter.
white one in my hand. I need you to tell me.
it
which
don't
one
matter if it's black or white.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They're both plugged in. Just plug it in. That camera dies really quick for some reason.
There.
In theory, that'll be okay.
Yes.
They look good.
Isu.
Give me a Hilux and just in the bed,
Google's
give me the
listening.
mounting bracket for a Modus to go in the bed of it, just for no particular reason.
Yeah, so the D-Max is basically the same thing.
Same thing we're getting over here now, and they're great little trucks.
But isn't that basically the fucking Canyon?
Essentially.
Kind of.
Because Isuzu basically was the S10s and everything like that back in the day.
Yeah.
I forgot what they called it.
Wonder
but
if they
my
share
boss had
designers.
one.
You know.
No, it's the same fucking platform.
Yeah.
They just sold it over there different. Look at this one. Look, there's a D-Max. For everybody who can't see it.
Oh, hell
I'm
yeah.
not gonna show- Yeah, D-Max work truck. Yeah, I'd buy that. But that's probably 10, 12 grand in Japan, and they'd want 45 for it here to make you buy a different truck.
Yeah.
But they won't even import the fucking thing, even though it's basically the same exact
Well, shit,
platform as
dude.
shit we already have here. The Ford Ranger, I'm pretty sure, is based off of something from the European Ford line.
Yeah.
My wife bought her car. See, I bought my truck in
Went from
2015.
church politics to car politics.
We have rambled.
Oh,
And it is 5:30, so we need a wrap soon.
Listen, we've went down a rabbit hole.
Many.
So, but no, when my wife bought her car in 2017, I think we paid like 18 grand
Yeah.
to buy the 2024 of her car, which is a Honda HRV.
Yeah.
It is almost 40 grand.
Yeah.
And I
It's
was like-
fucking nuts.
I paid 38,000 for a 2015 Dodge Ram 1500.
Yeah.
Paid 42 grand.
Dude, if I were to try to buy my old ass SRT right now, I bet it would be 10 grand over what I paid for it. And I paid less than 10 grand.
100%.
And see, that right there is
We
why
need a
I'm
new-
always going to have at least one Chevy shitbox that's going to run forever.
Yeah.
Until they get rid of all the parts.
Pretty much.
They'll eventually say that the cars in a junkyard are bad for the environment, and they'll burn everything that's in a junkyard, even though it's useful parts.
So
You know that's what they'll do.
Probably.
That's their next goal.
I'm hoping by the time that happens, I'll have a new engine in it,
All
and
the-
it's good to go for a little while.
all the climate change morons will start saying that old vehicles that are doing nothing but rusting are bad for the environment.
Yep.
When in fact, getting rid of all the old vehicles for the cash for clunkers, thanks Obama, he destroyed
we need a new
the car
commander in
market.
chief real fast.
Well, the problem is, even if we get a new commander in chief,
mean
or,
puppet-in-chief.
perhaps a old one, in fact,
Yeah.
if we get a particular old commander in chief back, not the other old one who's clearly been in charge this entire time.
Oh, good.
But either way, you can write into the show at NowYouMadeItAwkwardMail
But the rest of you
gmail.com.
not tards.
Nobody ever writes in. Nobody answers our questions. I'm annoyed by our audience.
All four of them.
Yeah, the episode numbers are going down. We
That-
have to piss people off.
Yeah.
Like Jordan's episode is the most watched episode recently.
Really.
Yeah, at least on YouTube. Oh, fuck! I forgot to bring it up. Hold on, give me a second. I got to bring this up because it was a
This
comment.
episode's going to have exactly 0 watchers because of me.
No, probably me. Last couple months they've been dropping.
Hold on, I got to bring this up. Let me go to the actual page because that's where I shared it, and I'll show.
Well, wonderfully, my in-laws, they listen to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And I love them for it. Thank you. Thank you, all of you.
So that was Friday's episode. Prior to Friday's episode, so this was a comment on the Porosos.
I saw that.
Yeah. So read that, Will. Read the first one.
You guys actually paid for that piss. Bless your hearts.
So that's the Porosos vodka. What's
Yeah.
my reply?
better than what your mom paid for that clearly didn't take since you're still here. Bless your stupid face.
Yeah. What am I implying?
Oh man.
Look, I reply to people when they fucking say stupid
Hey.
shit. So that's not even the good. That's a good one. That was the most recent one. But there's one I forgot about. Let me pull up the comment section because I forgot about it. So, and we didn't have an email, so I don't have anything to read there. So give me a second. I gotta pop over here. This is one of the few times you guys can see behind the scenes here. So this is how YouTube works for anybody who doesn't know. So let me go to the comment section here.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You got 6 days of rain coming up.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that'll be fun. Okay, so
We're about to see like the worst weather conditions we've seen in the past 50
I
years.
like crazy weather conditions.
Yeah.
I
Listen.
don't. The crazier, more screwed up.
Like y'all need to start prepping right now for hurricane season. 'cause
Already prepped.
It's gonna be
it's
bad.
gonna be a bad one.
I'm a constant state of preparedness.
There you
Yeah.
go. That's
All
how
right.
it should be.
so this one right here, it says I refuse to buy or drink just based on the owners of the company. So I replied, "Thanks for the engagement." Someone else replied, "Why?" Because that person never replied as to why. So I gave the answer. I said because his mother had an affair in 1982 and thought his dad didn't know, but he did. And then this person here said hate from Canada, and then I said hate from Texas. That person's in on the joke. That's a YMH supporter
Okay.
because there's a whole because they go through Christina's TikToks on the
You
show.
didn't do the dad joke. Hi, hate.
No,
Yeah.
no, because the joke was that they watched some TikToker who everybody was being horrendous in their comment section, and somebody said, and this is some fat girl who's literally trying to talk about how she's improving her life. She's going to the gym. She's trying to eat better, but people are picking on her because she's fat. And one of the comments was hate from wherever. So the YMH fans or the mommies started picking that up as hate from wherever as a positive thing to flip it on its head. So when this person said hate from Canada, I was like, hey, hate from Texas. I was like, because they're in on it. That's why I was like, when somebody says that, I'm like, I understand the joke. They're not just fucking pointless haters. It's like, it's funny that you can point out the haters because they're being shitheads, and you can point out the people who love it by claiming they hate it.
Right.
What?
We're backwards.
At
now.
what point in society did we get to like hating a company because of its owners and not for what it is? Like, if I dislike a beer, I'm not going to be like, I hate this beer because of its owners and they did.
What do you
this
mean
shitty thing.
nationwide we did that? Hey, Bud Light, you did something stupid. We're going to hate you all and never
Well,
drink
that's
it again.
different. That
I
is
will
different
100%
because
say I have been on that fucking hating Bud Light
Sucks.
bandwagon.
I have a shirt about
long
this.
before they fucking did that
Yeah,
shit.
before that it was Lone Star or Coors. If I couldn't
I
get
will-
anything better.
yeah.
100% drink. I will drink Lone Star.
Yep.
I will drink Coors Light. That's what I drink when I'm barbecuing because it's smooth. It's easy.
It's
And it-
it's what I call sex in a canoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking close to water.
Yeah, close to water.
So, I actually have merch on the Bud Light thing. I said I quit drinking Bud Light before it was transphobic.
Oh yeah.
Buy that merch now on the Shoki store. I even have pint glasses.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hating a vodka because
Bert
it comes
and Tom
it
made
becomes
it.
yeah.
It's a good vodka.
Hate
You
it
didn't try it. It's good
based on
vodka.
its taste, not who wrote it.
Now
or who
I
made
understand disliking. We're on a wholly new subject as we're wrapping up, but either way, the point was like you're right. Is like first of all, you never tried the product. You just dislike the people who made it for unrelated reasons. It's like you hate them because they're comedians. You hate them because they said something wrong, or you hate them because they're successful and you're a bitch.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
all it is. And I've talked about this. I talked about it with Shaun the other day. He's like, "Why are people fucking hating on these guys?" I was like,
Some
"Because
people
they feel."
just hate Burt Kreischer's laugh.
Yeah.
Well, some people hate. Like, look, Bert is a very flawed person. He is,
And-
but he knows he's flawed,
And he's open about it.
and he's open about it, and he's actively trying to fix it. Like he really is. In the latest podcast, he literally is like, he like sat back and let other people talk, and to the point that someone else pointed it out.
Yeah.
And he's like, but then he still goes into his old ways sometimes. It's like, I don't give a fuck. You overtalk over me a lot, but I don't pick
And
on you
versa
about it.
versa.
Yeah.
Either way. But the point is, like, Bert had a habit of making everything about himself. Somebody says something, you make it about himself. Then Tom, people just think that he and Christina got too rich, so they're out of touch with reality. It's like, motherfucker, they've been too rich for you people a long time ago.
Right.
Get over it. Do you like their comedy? Yeah. Then shut the fuck up.
Yep.
It's like-
Bikes.
Bikes. Yeah. It's like, do you like the machine story? Yeah. Buy the vodka. It's like, the vodka has nothing to do with your personal problems. It's good vodka.
I think better in the machine story is the retarded class story. That cracks me up.
I
don't know if
I
I've
like the
heard that
machine
one.
movie.
Check
I
it
haven't
out.
seen the movie yet.
Enjoy.
It's on Netflix.
Is it?
Yeah, it's been on
Okay.
Netflix.
Just get the special, the machine.
The
No,
special
watch
one.
the movie. The movie's so much better.
Really?
Did you watch it?
No, not
Oh, the
yet.
movie's fucking great.
Okay.
Because it's not about just that story. It's about the events that were put into play because of that story.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a sequel to the story while also living the story.
All right, I'll check it out.
It's pretty well done considering Bert's not an actor. And hopefully that funded their next movie, Fat Astronauts.
There you go.
All right. Either way, we're going to end on that note, guys. Write in, do whatever, like, subscribe, do all the other bullshit. Eventually, Jeff will get his Instagram up and moving, but he does have it.
It exists.
It exists, but he does not have anything worth a damn on it yet.
Nope.
And, of course, check out our taste test videos. Will here has joined us on at least 2 of them, technically speaking, and 1 extra as an addendum to the other one. So make sure you're watching those things because it takes little to no effort to make that happen. Well, actually, just filming, the editing is quite a lot of effort, if
Yep.
I'm honest, that I don't have to do, but I choose to. So you should like it, guys, because I put a lot of fucking effort into making those videos. But either way, we'll catch you on the next one, and we wrap these things up with just a simple K-bye in unison.
Okay.
So in 3, 2, 1.
Okay,
K,
bye.
bye.